men have already reached the finals of the world's biggest pro wrestling tournament. Tonight in Berlin, 2 more will gain the chance to represent their country as WhatCulture Pro Wrestling brings to you the German qualifiers of the Pro Wrestling World Cup.
Mein Name ist Rambo Braun.
Mein Name ist Erkan.
Und ich repräsentiere Deutschland in diesem World Cup.
Ja, es ist schon was ganz Besonderes. Also ich bin echt stolz, bei diesem Turnier mit dabei zu sein. Und wie gesagt, es freut mich und wie gesagt, es interessiert mich nicht, wer mein Gegner ist. Ich will auf jeden Fall in diesem Turnier weiterkommen und ich will dieses Turnier gewinnen.
Ich fühle mich geehrt, weil die Leute wissen, dass Rambo die Lucha-Libre-Revolution nach Deutschland gebracht hat. Und jetzt hat die Leute die Schönheit zu sehen, wie Rambo dieses Turnier gewinnen wird.
Okay Leute, hier ist Erkan, aka Mr. Uppercut. Seid gespannt. Dieses Turnier wird unglaublich und dieses Turnier werde ich auf jeden Fall versuchen zu gewinnen. Und ich werde alles Mögliche tun, um dieses Turnier zu gewinnen, denn ich bin Erkan, aka Mr. Ihr wisst Bescheid.
Ihr habt schon gehört, Rambo Braun ist der Nummer 1 in ganz Deutschland. Ich habe die Revolution gebracht und ich werde die Revolution weiterbringen, wenn ich dieses Turnier gewinne und mich krönen als bester Wrestler von der BCPB.
Dave Bradshaw here at ringside along with former British heavyweight champion Alex Shane. Alex, it is electric here in Berlin as we head into our first match.
And Dave, what a way to kick things off. We have an incredible opener right here in Berlin. I'm pumped for it.
The following match is scheduled for one fall.
On his way to the ring, the first of 8 hopefuls from Germany. Cash Money Erkan, a 9-year veteran. Great all-rounder, very well versed in technical wrestling. And a real fixture here in the German Wrestling Federation, GWF, who are hosting tonight's event in association with WCPW.
One of the youngest men in the German leg of this tournament, but also one of the hardest hitters, Dave. I think you're going to be impressed with Cash Money.
Well as his work here in GWF, also participated for WXW, NEW, Yawara and many other companies here in Germany, hoping to take his talents now onto the international stage, and what better opportunity than to represent his country in the Pro Wrestling World Cup.
And here he comes, Dave. Cash Money Erkan here looking for a place in the finals.
Cash Money Erkan, the first man to enter in Huxley's Neue Welt, the arena we are in here in Berlin. We will find out whether this man is worth cash money to the nation of Germany and their chances of taking home this first ever Pro Wrestling World Cup. And what incredible competition there is from around the world already.
And Erkan is known in Germany as Mr. Uppercut, and I guarantee you, Dave, by the end of this one, you're going to find out exactly why. I mentioned the hard hitter. He's got those long limbs you can see right there, one of the taller men here, but that uppercut is a deadly piece of offense.
He looks ready. 27 years old, you said one of the youngest men in this tournament. Already had a pretty successful career, not just in pro wrestling, but in amateur as well. He's a former amateur champion here in Berlin.
How much cash money do you think he's got on him now? He's hiding it in those trousers.
I don't know if he's got any pockets.
I hope it's euros and not pounds. That thing's dropped quick.
Here comes his opponent. Rambo Braun on his way to the ring. Former 2-time GWF Tag Team Champion, among many other things. Both of these men equally long careers approaching their 10-year marks in the industry. And both of them are pretty dominant here in Germany, but yet to really make their mark, I think it's fair to say, beyond the borders of this country.
Well, if they want to make their mark, Dave, this is the exact tournament to do it in. There is only 8 positions left to make it to those finals, and you've got to believe that both of these two men want one of those 2 spots.
Military influence is very obvious for Rambo Braun. He enters the ring, an intimidating physical presence here.
Why Rambo Braun? Was he a big fan of 80s movies? You could have been Die Hard Dave.
Die Hard Dave? Why you don't work in Hollywood? Well, I'd say he's a commanding physical presence, is Rambo, but one thing he isn't, as you noted, Alex, is he's not as tall as his opponent. In fact, at 5'7", he gives up an entire foot in height to Cash Money Erkan.
And in case you didn't do the math on that, a foot in height over someone who's 5'7" means that Erkan is 6'7". I mean, this guy, he's only 27 years of age, and as he starts to fill out that massive frame, and you can see that size difference now, he has a world of potential. I'm also prone to a man that likes black and gold trousers. It's a throwback to my wrestling days. Of course, you couldn't see those because it was in black and white.
Right, here we go, lock up between these two. To the rear waist lock from Rambo. Grab the wrist lock. And trying to overcome that leverage advantage by taking off his vertical base here into that front face lock and knee right into the abdomen of Erkan.
That's about as pretty as you on a Monday morning, Dave, but definitely effective.
Where have you seen you on a Monday morning?
Where have I seen you coming out of on a Monday morning is more the question.
Erkan will send Rambo. Ropes in for a clothesline counter, there's a backslide, shoulders are down. Rambo trying to steal one early on, and I think it's a 2 count.
And there we see the uppercut from Mr. Uppercut. Won't be the last we see of those, but the force of that was impressive.
Erkan's going to go to the ropes. Leap in high, drops the knee across the chest. Go for another cover, hooks both legs, just a 1 count as Rambo making sure to kick out emphatically.
You know, there's a saying in boxing that a good big un will always beat a good little un. I don't know if those words travel, but a good big guy will always beat a good small guy. And, well, maybe I stand corrected, said the man in the orthopaedic shoes, because that was devastating.
Recover and kick out by Erkan. Don't forget, by the way, if you want to tell us what you think of all of this action from Berlin tonight, you can give us your opinions on social media. The hashtag, as always, is Pro Wrestling World Cup.
Yeah, but how we will read that? We'll be commentating. You've not thought this through, Dave.
Well, I won't read it, but people will read it.
But you said if you want to let us know, not people. Look at this. Look at that strength there.
Heavens. Anyway, you're right. Great strength from Rambo Braun against the cover and gets another 2 count. Interesting that Rambo in particular trying for lots of early pinfalls here, and now I think it's maybe Alex's deliberate strategy, because of course the winner of this is going to have another match before tonight is through, so it's important to conserve as much energy as you can.
You're getting quite good at this. That is definitely some important strategy, because as you said, this won't be their only match if they win. We saw that in Canada with Speedball Mike Bailey. He gave everything he had in that opening contest, one of the best matches we've seen in this tournament, and he still wasn't done. He had another match.
And Mike Bailey's been one of the revelations of this World Cup so far. Much like, long blower from Rambo, goes for the cover, gets the 2 again, and again Erkan kicks out. I'm going to say Bailey and many of the Canadian guys in the Canadian qualifiers have a very similar situation to these German competitors, in that they've been very successful within their own national borders, but looking to branch out, and Bailey has announced himself as an international star as a result of this tournament. Maybe one of these two will do the same thing here.
Well, at this point, it looks like it's going to be Rambo. This crowd behind him goes for an ace crusher, assaults there, and comes, ducks a super kick, and look at that drop kick. Doesn't take him off his feet.
This might, though, going for the pump handle is Erkan. Pick him up, and a pump handle sit-out slam. Puts his arms together. Very difficult to kick out of that, but Rambo somehow found the strength to do it.
Rambo looked like a small child in between the legs of Cash Money there. Not in a weird way, just because he's got really big legs.
I know what you mean.
Massive. The size of this guy.
As you say though, he's still got. He can still fill out that frame a little bit more. He's actually given up some weight to Rambo, even though he's a foot taller, 10 pounds lighter. Is Erkan.
Oh, look at that for an uppercut.
We're starting to see what you mean about these uppercuts. Rambo's going to follow him in. Forearm to the face. Erkan will do the same thing. Once again, a second uppercut in the corner from Erkan on Rambo. They are just exchanging uppercuts and forearms. Both of these two men. Rambo goes for a clothesline. Both men clothesline each other. They are down. Very even contest between these two so far. They have competed, by the way, twice previously. It is 1-1. Their record in singles matches against each other. Someone looking to win the rubber match, I guess you would call it here, with the stakes as high as they can be.
It's a good name for it, the rubber match. Look at the legs of Cash Money. He's out on his feet right now.
Chop across the chest from Rambo.
Oh.
Another uppercut. They are going blow for blow here. A game of one-upmanship between Cash Money Erkan and Rambo Braun. Crowd in Berlin completely transfixed by this opening first round match. Erkan goes for a kick. Rambo moves out of the way, picks him up, slams him down.
On the back of his head, Dave, and that could be all.
Really?
Oh, wow. Wow, closest near full of this match so far.
I don't know how Erkan found it in himself to kick out of that one, but he did. He has barely moved since though. Knocked absolutely silly by that sit-out powerbomb. Rambo Braun trying to get this crowd here in the Huxley's Neue Welt behind him. Again for an ace crusher there instead of fall-away slam from Erkan. Got that right leg hooked. It was good for 2 before the shoulder went up.
Smart move there. Oh, is that great? There's a fan dressed like Grado in the crowd. Very confusing. But, I mean, that's exactly what Erkan needed to do. Because he needed to change the momentum and do it quickly, and now he's going back to what worked earlier. That pump handle up and Rambo out of it. Is that vertical suplex and inside out.
Brainbuster there from Rambo. Side press, and he didn't hook the leg, and that's maybe why he got 2 rather than 3. Vicious stuff here from Rambo, just forearms clubbing into the face repeatedly of Erkan.
Rambo feeling confident now. Going to a place that I'm not so familiar seeing him at, and that's the top rope, Dave. Is this a mistake?
That's one of those days in a career where you have to take risks.
Oh my God. Under the chin with that kick.
Erkan is doing a bit of showboat in here. That may be a mistake as well because he hasn't won this yet. There's a running enziguri to the side of the head of Rambo. Rambo Braun is deposited awkwardly here across the top rope. Erkan going for a superplex to try and end this and to advance to the second round. Braun in some trouble. Erkan going from the middle turnbuckle.
And Dave, from a man who's 6'7", this could be a superplex, my word.
10, 12 feet in the air. Hooks both legs. And is that enough? No. Oh my. 2 3/4 for Erkan. Just a split second away from advancing to the second round.
The height, distance and speed that the lower back of Rambo had to endure right there from that suplex. I mean, that is a game changer.
Both men increasingly exhausted here, but it is Erkan who is first to his feet.
No kidding.
Rambo is reeling from that superplex, as you might expect. Another attempt at a kick there from Erkan. Rambo. Oh God! Kick to the face. Did he get all of it? I'm not sure he got enough. Did he? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Und hier ist der Sieger. Und damit eine Runde weiter im deutschen Qualifikationsturnier für den Pro Wrestling World Cup. The Golden Boy, Mr. Uppercut, Erkan.
Cash Money Erkan catching Rambo Braun with that kick. And that means, of course, that Erkan advances to the second round out. He is now just one win away from representing his country in the World Cup finals.
Well, Mr. Uppercut may just have to change his name to Mr. Superkick. Sorry, young bucks, but that was an impressive way to open up this German qualifier here, and a big victory for Cash Money Erkan.
So Erkan now with time to rest as he awaits the winner of our next match. Cash Money Erkan advances to the second round of the German qualifiers in the Pro Wrestling World Cup.
Herzlich willkommen, liebe GWF-Fans aus Berlin.
Wollen Sie mich verarschen?
Erkan kommt, Erkan gewinnt, Erkan gewinnt, Erkan gewinnt.
Ein Aufeinandertreffen internationaler Premium-Klasse.
Und die Menge kommt, sie tobt.
Das größte Match in der Geschichte der German Wrestling Federation.
Fans, ich wünsche, ihr werdet alle hier. Es ist ein einmaliges Erlebnis, hier dabei sein zu können.
Ich bin Bad Bones und ich repräsentiere Deutschland im Pro Wrestling World Cup.
Mein Name ist Pascal Spalter, ich bin der Held der Hauptstadt aus der Trainingsschule der German Wrestling Federation und im World Cup repräsentiere ich Deutschland.
Ich bin Deutschlands größtes Ding und Deutschland zu repräsentieren ist meine größte Ehre, von daher, ich werde alles geben, 101%.
Ja, wie soll sich das anfühlen, Deutschland zu repräsentieren am World Cup in einem so großen Turnier? Für mich war das nur eine Frage der Zeit, denn ich bin ein absoluter Mann für die Kamera, fürs TV. Ich bin wirklich, also gar keine Frage, dass ich da auch nominiert wurde, in Betracht gezogen wurde und letztendlich dabei bin. Und ja, für mich war das eher selbstverständlich.
Pascal Spalter ist ein sehr guter Athlet, also ein richtig starker Athlet. Aber an mir vorbeizukommen, das braucht ein hartes Stück Arbeit.
Ich bin der Held der Hauptstadt, der Mann der Zeitgeschichte. Ihr kennt mich vielleicht aus dem Fernsehen von Berlin Tag und Nacht und GZSZ. Ich bin Teil des World Cups. Ich bin nicht nur Teil des World Cups, meine Absicht ist es, den World Cup zu gewinnen. Und dann heißt es für alle und auf der ganzen Welt spalten, spalten, spalten.
Und ich freue mich, mein Land zu repräsentieren. Ihr werdet eine Action sehen, die ihr noch nie gesehen habt. Erwartet das Unmögliche. Ich bin der 101% Rebell und ich bereue nichts.
Time for our second match in the German qualifiers first round, and a battle between two powerhouses, Bad Bones and Pascal Spalter.
Und es ist ebenfalls ein Qualifikationsmatch für das deutsche Turnier um den World Cup im Pro Wrestling.
Well, Dave, you mentioned Bad Bones earlier, and here's a man that took, in my opinion, Rampage to a limit that I've never seen him taken into before. So this man right here, his opponent, Pascal Spalter, is going to have a tough night ahead of him.
He is another regular here for GWF. Competed for WXW and many other promotions as well. Can Pascal Spalter get past Bad Bones here?
Auf den Weg mit einem Gewicht von 135 Kilogramm, der Mann Held der Hauptstadt aus Berlin, Pascal Spalter.
Pascal Spalter, not just a pro wrestling star, Alex, a bit of a crossover star here in Germany. He's been a part of various soap operas and reality TV shows as well. So quite a well-known personality here in Germany. And again, another guy who's looking to extend his profile beyond his national borders.
Dave, it's very rare you say something that piques my interest. I've got to be honest, I'd love to see a German reality show. So the only way is Dusseldorf.
What?
Berlin, sure. I've run out already, well, but like, I'm sure they'd be fascinating.
Do you even speak? You don't even speak German?
No, I can watch the pictures.
Well, yeah.
That's what I do with books.
One day you'll learn to read, I'm sure.
Big Dr. Seuss fan, me.
Pascal Spalter, obviously very familiar to these German fans here in Berlin. But his opponent, much more well known to WCPW fans, Bad Bones, has had so many grueling, hardcore contests in WhatCulture Pro Wrestling, including with Primate and others. And he is going to be a huge mountain for Spalter to overcome. Spalter has never beaten Bad Bones in 2 previous attempts. There was a draw between them, but Bones won the other one-on-one match. Will it be a case of third time lucky for Pascal Spalter tonight in Huxley's Neue Welt? Remember, winner of this going to face Cash Money Erkan in the second round. And Erkan presumably is going to be watching this on a monitor back in the locker room, hoping that this match goes as long as possible, so whoever the winner is will be pretty banged up by the time he faces them.
He's either doing that or counting his cash money from winning.
He hasn't won anything yet. Here's a chance for you to translate some German.
Mein Name ist Macht das Licht wieder an, Lichtmann. Hier, ich mach Licht für mein Gesicht. Mein Name ist Pascal Spalter. Ich bin der Held der Hauptstadt. Der Mann der Zeitgeschichte. Bekannt aus Berlin, Tag und Nacht. Bekannt von GZSZ. Und natürlich bekannt von Sterne von Berlin. Ich bin euer Lieblingswrestler und ich freue mich, heute Abend den Teil von Deutschland im Turnier zu gewinnen, euch alle zu repräsentieren und dann das Turnier zu gewinnen. Und dann wird die ganze Welt schreien, Spalten, 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 Spalten.
That's his name, I know that bit. I think I know what that means.
Do you agree with him? Made some interesting points there.
I don't know what he said.
Und seinen Gegner.
Spalter here could be going down like a lead balloon because Bad Bones has a habit of taking down opponents very, very quickly.
Change that from lead balloon to metal bat. I mean, that is never a good sign when Bad Bones comes to the ring with that bat. I mean, that's quite terrifying.
Everything about this man is terrifying. He has had success everywhere he has gone. In fact, you might say he's mown through almost every opponent in the European wrestling scene. He has held 22 different titles, including the WXW heavyweight title, tag team champion there as well. He's been a middleweight champion here in GWF, where we are tonight, and a world champion in GSW as well. So really one of the top guys on the German wrestling scene. And there'll be a lot of fans here in Germany who want Germany to win the World Cup, who will be hoping that Bad Bones goes through to represent them.
Well, he's not just one of the top guys on the German wrestling scene, Dave. He is one of the standouts of the independent wrestling scene, and one that comes from Germany, which is impressive. It would be fair to say he's one of the breakout stars from Germany, known all over the world. becoming more and more of a regular for GFW, Impact Wrestling, if that's what it's called this week.
Bad Bones, as always, looks like he's thoroughly enjoying himself. And the crowd very pleased to see him.
I think Spalter's about to appear in a new reality show. I'm a wrestler, get me out of here.
I would not want to be anywhere near Bad Bones when he has that baseball bat. I wouldn't want to be near him anyway, especially when he's got that bat in his hands. Bad Bones getting ready to go to work. Another day in the office here, but Pascal Spalter going to hope to put a dent in Bad Bones' day.
And Bad Bones hoping to put a dent in Spalter's head, preferably with a bat. So this could be bad all round.
Bad Bones, 7 years older at 33 years old than his opponent. Been wrestling 13 years to Spalter's 10. Both of them, though, know what they're doing in there, so Spalter, by no means a pushover at all.
And there's one thing that always amazes me with Bad Bones, Dave. Do you know what that is?
What's that?
How does a man that muscular find jeans that fit?
Really?
I spent over 20 years trying to find that. What I've done is I've transformed my body shape into flab and relax muscle to try and fix the problem, and it's still not a solution. It's not laziness, honestly.
No, it's very, very smart of you. Well done. So, Bad Bones and Pascal Spalter about to lock up here. Again, winner of this going to face Cash Money Erkan in the second round.
Oh, look at now that was surprising. That was surprising. Pascal there with the strength advantage.
You know, I wonder whether this is going to be part of what Spalter hopes to achieve here. But the fact that we're talking about Bad Bones like he's the favourite, Spalter may be banking on the fact that people, especially Bad Bones, are going to underestimate him, and that could give him the element of surprise that he needs.
I'm surprised already. Look, that's twice now. Now, you know what? There's only a small height difference between these two. But in the collar and elbow tie-up, Dave, that is all the difference that you need, because what happens is the muscularity and the strength is pushing downwards, which is exactly why Bad Bones went backwards, and he's rectified it now with that tight side headlock.
Spalter trying to get his hand there to release some of the pressure. Shoulder block sends Bad Bones down. And Bad Bones looking a little bit stunned at the ferocity of that shoulder block. Another one. And Spalter making a mark here.
Spalter's little sister is in the crowd watching. What? Well, he's her big brother.
Oh, reality
yeah,
TV.
There you go.
Okay,
there's another one.
That's where you're going. Big chop from Bad Bones. He's going to unload here with right hands. Crowd counting along. You count to 10 in German?
Yeah. Ein, Swine, dry. Oh, he's going too fast for me.
The whole world goes too fast for you.
He's spinning on that massive axis. Oh, look at that.
Big kick into the chest of Bad Bones from Spalter. Scoop slam.
And again, Dave. And again. I tell you what, Bad Bones is being manhandled.
Spalter showing off his raw power here. Went for the elbow, but Bad Bones moved out of the way. And Bones now gonna head to the ropes clothesline. Cover. Grab the leg on the way down. No wasted motion from Bad Bones, and it was good for a 2 count, but not a 3.
And Bad Bones is just really starting to make his way in the wrestling business. More and more people paying attention to him. He cannot afford to lose, because this will be a loss that will be seen all around the wrestling world, and that's got to be playing on his mind.
Go to the ropes as Spalter's got caught.
Oh! Wow.
Bones couldn't hold him. There's a cover from Spalter, and he gets 2.
I tell you what, I'm becoming a fan of Spalter. He's got something. I don't know what it is. It's an intangible. I know what it is. It's an X factor.
Reality TV again.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
Not heard of that one.
You know what you're doing, exactly. Spalter to the outside, landed awkwardly, I think, on that left leg. Bones will head to the ropes. Bad Bones between
oh my God!
Bottom and middle rope. Goodness me. Bad Bones. Clearly the preferred choice of the fans here. But what about the preferred choice of Erkan? If you're Cash Money Erkan, Alex, watching this back in the locker room, who would you prefer to face in the second round?
That's a tough one. I mean, in no way, shape or form would I ever want to face Bad Bones. So ordinarily, I'd have said probably Spalter. But now, now I'm not so sure, Dave.
God, look at that.
All I can tell you is by looking at what we've seen so far, Germany's got talent.
Overhead belly to belly, gets 2 count. I don't think I didn't notice what you did there.
I'm just putting over the talent.
Not dignifying it with response. Boot between the shoulder blades by Spalter on Bones. Now choking him out. If that's illegal, he's going to have a 5 count to break it. Spalter will take as much of that 5 count as he can. This has been definitely a surprise that Spalter has been able to dominate such a portion of this match as he has.
And it just continues. That's the thing. I mean, he has taken that dive from Bad Bones and continued the offense. I mean, look at this. This is shocking.
Saw how painful the look on Bones' face was. He got another 2 count. The speed and intensity with which Bones was sent into that corner left him absolutely reeling there. Once again, Spalter trying to wear down his opponent. Bad Bones is fighting gradually to his feet. Got to break that arm, that grip around his throat. Does so, but in the end he runs into an elbow. And Spalter going for a cover. That is a nonchalant pin to say the least, and Spalter doesn't want to get overconfident here just because this is going well.
Hey Bradshaw, are they chanting Shizer?
I don't know. They are. I don't know what that means. I assume it's a...
I think it's I only really know the rude words in different languages.
Oh, I thought it was maybe a term of endearment.
I know Scheiserhausen, or as we call it, Dave's place.
What?
Where you live.
That's not very nice. Chops across the chest. Both men exchanging them here.
My place is lovely, by the way. I've invited the winner of this tournament for dinner after the show. I sent them all a message saying, come dine with me.
What? Please stop.
No, seriously. I'm a hungry man. Look at this, Bad Bones now. Coming back, and maybe for the first time in this one, he's starting to realise that without a shadow of a doubt, he cannot, and I mean cannot, afford to lose. Oh, it lands on the apron.
Both charging through, he got caught though.
Davey caught him.
Wow, overhead throw there, suplex after that catch. I thought he was going to go for the DDT. And there's a German suplex. Oh, from Spalter. That could be enough, you know. Bad Bones landed on the back of his head, and oh my, it nearly was enough. That was close. Spalter trying to turn this upper hand that he's had for several minutes. Got to convert it though into a victory or it's all for nothing.
And I think Bad Bones may have taken his opponent here for granted, Dave. You know, last time they drew, previously Bad Bones has beaten him, but he just can't hold that record and use it as ammunition to think he's going to win because he is known everywhere. If he gets pinned here, and it could happen, I tell you what, Bad Bones really will be the biggest loser in this tournament.
That's enough? You are.
No, I'm saying in this whole tournament.
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're doing. Spalter sitting on the back of the neck of Bad Bones. And that is, again, just a little bit of arrogance here from Spalter, which I'm not sure is warranted at this stage. He hasn't won anything yet.
Oh, look, Grado in the back. And I have been told on good authority that he is part of a stag group that's come over here from Scotland. They don't know they're in Germany, so don't tell the bride.
What?
I'm just saying.
How do you possibly know that?
It's true. Look, there he is again. It's yourself.
Spalter is exchanging some, I was going to say pleasantries with the crowd. I'm not sure that's quite right. Gets to the side press, hits the leg, and he'll nearly again picked it up. You saw a minute ago that Bad Bones was trying to, bring this up a couple of gears. He's realised that he's going to have to up his game here, but Spalter just giving him absolutely no openings to get back into this.
And the scene here in Germany, it's so good to see it coming back so much wrestling all around the world. Obviously, this World Cup is an opportunity to exhibit wrestling from all over the planet. You know, recently Pakistan just launched its own wrestling company. The scene in Scotland, the scene in Wales, and of course the scene in Ireland. I love Ireland.
Do you?
I love Ireland, yeah, one of my favourite places.
I bet they don't love you. Oh, I just realised what you did. Love Ireland, yeah. Oh, God. Somebody help me.
I think you've got a problem.
Or somebody help Bad Bones. Because Bad Bones is up there on the turnbuckle in a bad, bad place.
This will be bad for his bones. If he lands from that height, Dave, we saw it in our opening contest, and he is fighting with all he has. And he should. Look at this. Comes out, and a big headbutt. Side of the head there from Bad Bones. And a second. And a third.
Spalter finally pushed away. Bad Bones knew that was make or break for his chances in this match. And a missile dropkick from the top by Bad Bones.
How impressive is Bad Bones? Dive through the ropes. Top rope dropkick.
Bad Bones going to take a run up a second time. With a forearm into the side of the face of Spalter. Bad Bones finally finding a way in here, or is he? Spalter! A spear!
Wow.
Launched between the ropes, the cover, and not enough. Right shoulder goes up on 2.5.
And it was with that flurry of offense right there that we saw the real Bad Bones, the true Bad Bones, the man that you do not want to mess with, and the man, in my opinion, Dave, despite all that we've seen, is going to qualify into the next round of this tournament. This guy's just unstoppable.
Pascal Spalter, for the first time in this match, was getting in trouble. He caught the leg, though, of Bad Bones into a kind of a torture rack position, but Bad Bones able to wriggle free. Kick into the side of the head. Look at that. Absolutely vicious from Bad Bones, and Spalter put that left shoulder up, but that was not exactly emphatic.
Well, it was a kick like that allowed the man that is in the back watching this one to advance into the finals. And right now, if I was him, I would be chuffed to bits that both of these two warriors at the squared circle are tearing chunks out of each other in order to qualify here in the WCPW World Cup.
That's a great point. Every second that passes, Erkan is recovering. Every second that this match goes on, the eventual winner of this match, whoever it is getting more and more damage.
And where's Pascal going? This is... Davey went for that suplex earlier and he is not giving up, and my lord!
From that angle, the strength that that takes is unreal, and it's still not enough! Still not enough as Bad Bones gets out again! Good God, what a match between these two heavyweights.
I tell you what, I don't know who's going to win this, but there is more chance of CM Punk getting $1 million from 5-Star Wrestling right now than there is of either of these two waking up tomorrow and not feeling in incredible amounts of pain.
And again, let's emphasise again, one of them at least is going to have to wrestle again.
CM Punk said he'll never wrestle again.
I wasn't talking about CM Punk.
Angle slam assaults there. Look at Bad Bones holding on with a big deep forearm, hits the ropes, comes back and wow.
Took his head off his shoulders there, did Spalter. Is that enough? Is it? Was it? No. Wow, very, very close. Referee with a judgment call, but that was only 2. And Spalter, in a bit of disbelief there, that was not enough to put away Bad Bones. That smirk, an evil grin emerging on the face of Pascal Spalter.
Spalter kind of reminds me of Kevin Owens for some reason. I can't tell you why. But I tell you what, a big man, he can move, and he is incredible in that squared circle. I'm impressed, and this could be all day.
Running power slam from Spalter. Is that it? No.
I shies at you not, Dave Bradshaw. I thought that was it.
So multilingual.
I do my best.
Pascal Spalter.
Even Grado can't believe it.
And Spalter, again, this is where the greater experience of Bad Bones. I don't think Bones would be waiting here in the way that Spalter is. You can't give someone like Bad Bones time to recover. Although, saying that, possibly Bad Bones may be beyond recovery at this stage.
He may have bad bones. They may be broken bones, which is the worst form of bad. Or they're equal with fractured.
But he is essentially dead weight here, is Bad Bones.
Dead bones.
What? That doesn't mean anything. Spalter believing he's Got this one. If you think you've won it, then turn him over and pin him.
He's taking too much time.
Spalter trying to pick up that 250-pound frame of Bad Bones. Instead, Bad Bones surprises him, rolls him up, and Bad Bones has stolen one.
Pascal was too busy spouting Shizer and he lost the match and Bad Bones advances.
Talk about snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. It looked like Bad Bones had been knocked clean unconscious, but instead he drew in Pascal Spalter, surprised him with a roll-up, and Bad Bones advances to face Cash Money Erkan in the second round. The winner of that will represent Germany in the finals of the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Hard-hitting heavyweight match there.
And Dave, we're just 2 matches in, and if this is any indication of what we're going to see right here from Berlin before the end of this one, I'm excited.
More first round action on the way next as the Pro Wrestling World Cup rolls on.
Hi, ich bin der Mack, der Urban German ist jetzt endlich hier bei WhatCulture Pro Wrestling und ich repräsentiere Deutschland.
Also mein Name ist Cem Kaplan und ich präsentiere das Team Deutschland in dem Weltturnier.
Ja, ich bin wahnsinnig stolz darauf, Deutschland hier zu repräsentieren. Ich meine, das ist ein weiteres Turnier für mich. Ich war schon mal in den Staaten bei einem großen Turnier mit dabei. Diesmal in UK bzw. hier in Berlin bei einem großen Turnier und ich will mich qualifizieren, ich will eine Runde weiterkommen und ich will zeigen, dass der Urban German zu WhatCulture Pro Wrestling gehört.
Also es ist auf jeden Fall eine große Ehre, dass ich mitmachen darf in diesem Turnier und dass ich Deutschland vertreten darf. Das ist natürlich noch hervorragender. Ich vertrete Tarkan Aslan, der leider durch Krankheitsbedingungen nicht antreten kann, aber trotzdem, das ist für mich eine große Ehre. Er ist ein großer Name und hat sich einen großen Namen ausgesucht, der ihn vertreten kann. Mich, Cem Kaplan.
The Urban German is finally at WCPW and it's go time, folks.
Another first round match in these German qualifiers on the way. Cem Kaplan going to take on Mack, 2 men who have never faced each other before. So a first time encounter here between the high flying Mack and the powerhouse Kaplan. Two conflicting styles here, Alex. What do you think is going to be the key for Cem Kaplan against Mack?
Well, the Mack is a man who I've been impressed with, Dave. High flying, experience, nearly 10 years in the ring, but he's got exactly the same experience level as the man we're about to meet right here. So I think this could be evenly matched, even though their styles are very different.
Well, Kaplan is a former GWF Tag Team Champion, also a middleweight champion here, and a Tag Team Champion in DWA, so an accomplished competitor to say the least. But he has a big challenge here against Mack. Cem Kaplan, always overflowing with confidence here. This is just natural on his t-shirt. He believes that he was born to be a pro wrestler. And this would be a major step forward in his career if he can qualify for these World Cup finals.
And you talk about those World Cup finals, don't forget already qualified from the UK, Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, from Scotland, Joe Coffey and Kenny Williams, from Canada, Michael Elgin and Speedball Mike Bailey, and of course from Mexico, Penta L0M and Rey Mysterio, so he's going to be in great company.
These German stars going to be underdogs in those World Cup finals, but that may suit them down to the ground. And this man hoping to be among them. Mack has competed beyond these shores on a number of occasions, including in WWE's Cruiserweight Classic. Been a mainstay in WXW as well. He's a former two-time World Tag Team Champion. So Mack with perhaps a more impressive resume of these two men, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything once you get between those ropes.
And he's also Germany's most popular Michael Jacksonogram. Like a strippogram, but he does, you know, Bad, Man in the Mirror is one of my favourites, Thriller.
He's saying he strips.
Earth Song, not as good. Actually, it was alright, Earth Song.
Well,
I don't mean he strips, he dances.
Okay, well,
have you never used a Michael Jacksonogram?
No, never even heard that word. Wow. Well, Mack. A lot of fans here in Huxley's Neue Welt. This great venue here in central Berlin. Great to be in the German capital as this Pro Wrestling World Cup spreads all around the world. Now, as you talked about the 4 countries qualifiers that we've already had, England, Scotland, Canada, and Mexico. Obviously the German qualifiers coming to you tonight on YouTube. Japanese qualifiers tomorrow. We still have qualifiers to come later this month from the USA and the rest of the world.
Feels good to be back on YouTube. If you are watching this video and you were first, please let us know in the comments section. I'm sure 18 of you already have.
You finished? Mack was pushed into the ropes there by Kaplan, who's unloading with these forearms. And Mack is already having to cover up, so he's got those arms high. Those forearms are clearly doing some damage early on. Kaplan charged in, no one there, and a slap across the face.
Palm strike, shades of Jushin Thunder Liger.
Jushin Thunder Liger going to be part of those Japanese qualifiers tomorrow. And, many other iconic stars, Tiger Mask, part of the Japanese qualifying tournament too. Kushida, this year's Best of the Super Juniors, that's all coming up tomorrow on YouTube. Obviously right now it's all about these German qualifiers and Mack in charge against Kaplan. Once again, if you want to let us know what you think of the German qualifiers so far, as always the hashtag Pro Wrestling World Cup. Share with us your thoughts on social media as Mack goes for a cover and gets 2.
It's a big hashtag, isn't it?
It's a lot of letters, I grant you. It means you have to be more concise in the rest of your tweets.
Look at the arms of Cem Kaplan. I like that name, Cem.
Do you? What you telling?
I just did.
He can't hear you, can he?
He's going to watch it back.
Why would he watch English language commentary?
That's a good point. And look at this, attempted reversal there from the headlock by Mack. And look at Mack with a handstand back into the corner. I'm a poet and I didn't know it.
Shame you couldn't think of a word for corner that rhymed with back. Would have been better anyway. Rear waist off by Mack. Kaplan gets the elbow into the face as Mack ran in, and now those forearms again. Kaplan has been using those forearms as an absolute weapon against Mack in the opening minutes here. Just, as I say, brimming with confidence is Kaplan. Shoulder block. American football style tackles. Again and again, knocking the wind out of Mack. Could he surprise him here? For a leg, but it's got a 2.
Kaplan's got unorthodox offense. He was up and down like a yo-yo. But not a normal yo-yo, one of those ones that does tricks. I mean, that's all yo-yos, but in the hands of the right yo-yo expert, he was up, down, left, right, in, out. You know, living La Vida Loca.
You know sometimes how you go off on a tangent?
No. When's that happening?
Now. Scoops him up, does Kaplan. And Mack upside down in the tree of woe. Dangerous position for Mack to be in. Kaplan's going to take a run up. A drop kick right in the chest. Mack now released. Kaplan again going for an early cover. Seeing again as he gets 2. Again, these guys in the first round trying to finish these first round matches as quickly as they can, conserve energy for what's to come later in the night. Of course, for only one of these two men will there be anything coming up later in the night, because one of them is going to be eliminated right here.
Look at this. Do you smell what the Mack is cooking? Well, nothing at this rate. Look at this.
Cooking anything after that. Release suplex as the cover. Hooks the right leg, and it's again good for 2. And Kaplan getting a little bit frustrated. But he is constantly a half a second away with these pin attempts. Kaplan gonna send Mack one more time into the opposite corner. Goes for a clothesline. Mack goes behind. Now Mack's gonna go to the ropes. Takes him down.
And this is what Cem wants to avoid, is a flurry of offense from the Mack. Because when this guy gets going, he can move, he's fast. And his offense has a tendency to be furious.
Mack has taken Cem off his feet a couple of times there with those chops, and the table's turning quickly in favour of the Mack. At least they were. Kaplan moved out the way, but he got caught on the back of the head from that kick off the turnbuckle by Mack. Kaplan, not silly isn't enough, no, it's just a 1/10 of a second away from being enough.
And we saw right there the speed of the Mack. When he gets going, this guy can fly. That's why you need to ground him and grind him into that canvas. Sounded rude, wasn't meant to.
Mack picking up Kaplan, who's was at his best here in the early part of this match when he was using those forearms, as he is again now. Going back to the thing that's brought him most success, but Mack picks up the pace one more time, and knee right into the temple. Mack trying to turn this into the sort of match, the sort of pace that suits him best. Kaplan been trying to slow it down and get those strikes in the corner. While Mack has freedom to roam the ring, he is a huge, huge threat. Looking for an ace crusher there, maybe. An uppercut. Seen lots of them tonight already. And there is an ace crusher. The cover from Mack. Leg hooked. Will that do it? Yes, it will.
Wow.
Mack with a quick win.
Und damit ebenfalls eine Runde weiter im German Qualifying für den Pro Wrestling World Cup.
Well, the Mack victorious, and not only was that a relatively fast victory, so he hasn't used up too much energy, but of course the luck of the draw again favours him, because the winner of this match, in this case the Mack, going to face the winner of the next match. He is going to have a long time to recover, and that's got to make him a favourite to advance from this second round.
Well, the World Cup rolls on here in Berlin.
Hallo, mein Name ist Lucky Kid und ich repräsentiere Deutschland.
Mein Name ist Juvenile Alex, ich bin vom ehemaligen WCW-Superstar Alex Wright und seinem legendären Vater Sir Steve Wright trainiert. Ich vertrete Deutschland im WCPW World Cup.
Es ist einfach grandios, diese Chance zu bekommen. Einfach mal weltweit repräsentiert zu werden. Ich liebe es und ich werde auf jeden Fall alles geben, um dieses Tournament zu gewinnen.
Für mich fühlt es sich an, es ist natürlich eine super große Stage für mich, ja. Es fühlt sich an, als hätte alles in meinem Leben auf diesen Punkt hier hingearbeitet. Jeden einzelnen Tag, den ich verbracht habe, an Wrestling zu denken und daran zu denken, wie ich vorankomme, ja, hat zu diesem Tag geführt.
Ich bin Lucky Kid und ich werde das World Cup gewinnen. Und wenn ihr nicht damit cool seid, Hakuna Matata.
Jetzt ist der Moment, wo ich so lange darauf hingearbeitet habe. Seht mich an, was ich jetzt da draußen mache, denn ich mache das, was ich schon immer getan habe. Gewinnen. Ich spiele nicht Wrestling. Ich lebe es und ich atme es. Ich bin Wrestling.
Final first round match on the way in these German qualifiers, and two high flyers about to clash. Lucky Kid and Juvenile X. Juvenile X still relatively new to the Mack game, only 4 years experience. But he has a very good grounding in the wrestling industry, trained by former WCW star Alex Wright.
That's Wonder Kid. I've been waiting all show to say that. I knew everything I know about dancing from that Wonder Kid, Alex Wright.
Oh, he's to blame, is he?
What are you trying to say?
I've seen you dance. Thought you were having a seizure.
Of course, Alex Wright, more famously known to younger fans as Berlin, which is where we are right now.
Good.
Geographically relevant commentary.
Good, you brought it around there. Very good segue. Excellent stuff. Juvenile X, despite only being a pro for 4 years, already had a number of titles, including the NEW World Heavyweight Championship, the PWP World Championship, and he's a former tag team champion in UKWA. Big challenge for this man, though, against an opponent in Lucky Kid, who has more than twice the amount of experience in the ring.
And another German high flyer, Lucky Kid. This one may just be the fastest contest of the German leg of this tournament so far.
Currently one half of the WXW Tag Team Champions and a current HCW Tag Team Champion as well. Really a tag team specialist, I think it's fair to say, is Lucky Kid, but clearly going to try his luck here in singles competition, and what bigger stage to do it on than the Pro Wrestling World Cup. This one could be high octane. Expect this one to be fast from the get-go. Spectacular moves in the arsenals of both of these guys. Again, two men who the GWF fans here in Berlin are familiar with. Crowd supporting Lucky Kid, much to the annoyance of Juvenile X.
And before this match gets going, Dave, I just want to send my thoughts out to the brother of Lucky Kid.
Who's that?
Unlucky Kid, he got struck by lightning last week.
Really?
And we're underway.
Yeah.
You're going to have to move on.
Oh, good. Juvenile X with a vicious assault here on Lucky Kid.
We're talking of lightning, those kicks by Juvenile X, Dave, I mean, they had some speed behind him.
You could see he was getting riled by the fact that the crowd were cheering for Lucky Kid, and Juvenile X has done a pretty good job here of channeling that anger into an early flurry of offense here against Kid. Hurricane Rana though from Lucky Kid, and Juvenile X sent over the top rope to the outside.
Dave, we said it. We said this was going to be fast, and look at these two, my word.
The Lucky Kid maybe looking to take to the skies. He goes off one rope, off another rope, and over the top, takes out Juvenile X.
On his feet, Dave Bradshaw. These two have learned from the match we just saw. If between Cem Kaplan and the Mack, get it done and get it done quick, because you've got another match still to come if you win.
Absolutely right, and Juvenile X is finding that he could be out of this World Cup as quickly as he ended it at the moment, because Lucky Kid taking control here.
Here's a question, was it luck that he landed on his feet or just skill? Ponder that later. Whoa!
There's a missile drop kick, cover, so right there gets two. And Juvenile X with no option but to retreat to the outside and try and regroup here.
Smart move. I feel some sort of affinity with Juvenile X.
Why?
Because I'm an ex-juvenile. Look at this.
Juvenile offender in your case, I would think.
That's rude. Look at this, smart. There's the affinity, Dave. Bad attitude. Smart thinker. Lucky kid, not so lucky now.
Again, we're seeing those lightning fast kicks from Juvenile X. That same corner where he started the match. Lucky kid gasping for air after repeated stomps onto his chest. Juvenile X, a slightly juvenile attitude towards these fans. He needs to ignore them, focus on Lucky Kid. Big body slam. Go to the ropes. Quick elbow. Again going for an early cover. Didn't hook the leg, gets two. You see Lucky Kid is still really struggling to get any air into his lungs here. And Juvenile X sees that, that's why he's applied that hold around the throat.
Well, that comes from not just being taught by Alex Wright, but the father of Alex Wright, the legendary German wrestler Steve Wright. That is 2 generations of wrestling knowledge and know-how in some of the biggest wrestling companies in the world being programmed into you at a young age. I mean, when it comes to German wrestling training, that's about the best pedigree that you can get.
Now, you see Juvenile X having to struggle to maintain that hold, as Lucky Kid knows the longer he's in here, the worse it is for his long-term chances in this match. Goes for a short arm clothesline of Juvenile X. Instead he ends up behind him in the rear waist lock. Lucky Kid holds onto the ropes. A drop kick takes him down. Again Juvenile X will go for the cover. Kick out from Lucky Kid.
Interesting fact about Lucky Kid, he has won the Euro Millions 18 times.
That's just not a fact.
That's just how lucky he is.
You make stuff up, it's not a fact.
No, I didn't say how much he won, it could have been 10 euros.
You don't know he won 18 times. You haven't even spoken to him.
I checked Wrestling Factopedia.
That's not even real.
It will be. Once I purchase it from GoDaddy. Slightly sexist.
Juvenile X back in here, giving Lucky Kid no time to rest. Big knee right into the midsection. There's an aggression to Juvenile X, which is kind of impressive.
That's double underhook superplex, Dave Bradshaw.
What? You're faux German. Not impressing anyone, but as I say, Juvenile X is certainly impressing people here, because he has done more against Lucky Kid in these past few minutes than I think most observers were probably expecting.
How did you get over here? Did you fly or get Das Boot?
Beg your pardon?
It's a very famous German film about a submarine.
Why would I come to Germany in a submarine?
I don't know, what culture and travel logistics? It's amazing you didn't come by a horse and cart.
But Juvenile X ends up on his feet on the apron here. Lucky Kid takes a shoulder right into the abdomen. Again, Juvenile X trying to press home that advantage that he's had for much of the match. Goes underneath. The quickness here from Juvenile X, more than you might expect.
And he is staying on his opponent, Dave, and that's what I find so impressive. Not giving him a moment to recover. And that's the strategy he's going to need to use. Look at this. Relentless.
Uppercut after uppercut after uppercut from Juvenile X.
European uppercut. Oh, I guess we're in
Europe.
We're in Europe, so it's just an uppercut. Yeah, that makes sense. If he did this in England, then it'd be a European uppercut.
We're in Europe. England is part of Europe.
Not for long. Just ask Doug Williams. I've just been invited to his Article 50 party.
People have Article 50 parties.
Doug does.
We'll talk about geopolitics another time. Maybe when you've been to school for a few years. Juvenile X with a boot right to the right arm. Upper arm of...
I think that was his left arm. Who needs to go to school?
Alright, fine. It was his left arm. Miracle I don't make more mistakes sitting next to you. But anyway, Juvenile X here is making very few mistakes against Lucky Kid. Another big kick right into the midsection.
And look at this from Lucky Kid. He's willingly sitting up and taking more punishment. And
this time he catches him. Catches that right leg. Juvenile X in a compromising position here. Goes for a clothesline. There's a drop kick right around the back of the head. Got his head banged right against the top turnbuckle there. Lucky Kid finding a second wind. though from Juvenile X, and he's been so good here at cutting off that momentum, but Lucky Kid with the back elbow, goes for the cover. Can he steal it here? Did he? No.
That may just have been the closest near fall, not of this match, but of this show so far. I mean, that was 2 9/10.
Well, not so lucky, I guess, for Lucky Kid, as he was, as you say, just so close to getting it done, but got to take advantage of every opportunity he can here against a man who has been on top of him for most of this match in Juvenile X. Again though, Lucky Kid gets the boot up. Just a step or two ahead of Juvenile X over the past minute or two. Juvenile X though, that'll quickly change things around. Another drop kick sends him down. There's a neck breaker.
Perfect, Dave. Center of the ring. Ref comes down 2 and whoa.
Impact on that neck breaker.
I'm impressed by Juvenile X.
How could you not be? He's been absolutely phenomenal here. The crowd clearly trying to get under his skin, and to some degree that seems to be working. What is this though? Juvenile X lining up Lucky Kid for something. Lucky Kid hasn't seen Juvenile X, now he sees him. Go for the running knee. Lucky Kid into the corner, both men avoiding each other here. Lucky Kid, forward roll into a DDT, look at that!
On his head!
From Lucky Kid, will that do it? No! Again with the kick out. Juvenile X showing some remarkable resilience.
That frantic energy there of Lucky Kid meant that instead of putting all his full body weight across his opponent, he was kind of up and down, and that just prevented him getting the pinfall, in my opinion. Goes for a dragon suplex there.
Breaking the hold is Juvenile X, gonna send Lucky Kid to the rope, picks him up, running power slam. Second time we've seen one of those this evening.
Oh, where's X going? Up to the top, Dave.
Juvenile X.
He's trying to roll away, but he's seemingly rolling in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he's rolling right into danger here as Lucky Kid. I'm not sure he entirely appreciates the severity of the situation. There's an attempt at a headbutt, no one home. Lucky Kid trying to get the crowd behind him. That full Nelson, there's the suplex with the bridge, and that will do it. Lucky Kid advances. Dragon suplex enough to put away Juvenile X. Take nothing away from that youngster. What an impressive showing. Nonetheless, it is Lucky Kid who advances to face Mack for a place representing Germany in the World Cup finals. What a second round match that's going to be between Kid and Mack.
Well, Dave, I have somewhat of an allergy when it comes to agreeing with you. I break down cuts and bruises and lumps all over myself. But you're exactly right, because that second round match is going to be something special, and it's something I'm looking forward to.
Well, we started with 8, we're down to 4. By the end of tonight, 2 men will represent Germany in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Don't go anywhere.
The following match, presented by WhatCulture Pro Wrestling, is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is a tag team match.
Tag team action on the way. Here come 2 very promising young athletes, a great tag team here. Real challenge for the Hunter brothers. For Tony Harding in the green trunks, Ronaldo Shaqiri. An uncanny resemblance to Cristiano Ronaldo, the football player. These two, as I say, going to take on the Hunter brothers, who we've seen a couple of times in WCPW. My broadcast partner, by the way, has gone to brush up on his German for a few minutes. He'll be back with us if we're unlucky in a short while. So Shaqiri and Harding, big opportunity here on a big stage. Both of these two relatively inexperienced. Harding in particular only had his debut back in March of last year.
With a combined weight of 376 pounds, from Tipton in England, Jim and Lee, the Hunter Brothers.
Jim and Lee, the Hunter brothers, one of the most experienced tag teams on the British scene. They are going to take on these hungry young opponents here in Shaqiri and Harding. Be a really competitive tag team match, you know. Very interesting to see whether the experience of the Hunter brothers can overcome the sheer will to win of these two newcomers, Harding and Shaqiri. Referee Sean McLaughlin from Scotland, regular in WCPW. It'll be Lee Hunter starting things out against Shaqiri. Crowd here getting behind Harding and Shaqiri. Lee Hunter will apply the side headlock. Grabs a wrist lock. Shaqiri nips up, rolls through, counters the wrist lock. And he is going hold for hold, very adeptly with Lee Hunter. Hunter with a hurricane run. And Shaqiri to the ropes. Well, head scissors takedown from Shaqiri, impressive stuff. Hunter backs into the corner. Maybe going to tag his brother. Yes, he does. In comes Jim. And in comes Tony Harding. Pro Harding chant breaks out in the Huxley's Neue Welt here in Berlin. Again, thank you for joining us on this historic night. The German qualifiers of the Pro Wrestling World Cup still in progress. Completed the first round. We'll shortly be bringing you the second round matches with two men set to qualify as the German representatives, the 9th and 10th men, to enter that final tournament of 16 from August 23rd to 26th in England. Tag again to Shaqiri. Hunter taken down. Double drop kicks. Harding goes back to his corner. Rapid tags now from this young team. Also coming up, don't forget, on this show, before we go off air, this is a high knee from Harding. The WCPW champion is going to be here, for better or worse, the prestigious one, Joe Hendry, to defend against the new hardcore champion, Primate. Big challenge for the leader of the Prestige. See the back elbow from Jim Hunter. Hunter, they see some experience as he brings his opponent back into his own corner before tagging his brother. Another quick tag. Lee is going to be out of there as quickly as he was in. Jim with a stunning forearm into the face and a snapmare takedown. Another quick tag. How many of those have we seen in the last 30 seconds? Leaping senton splash and the second one. The Hunter brothers just proving what a well-oiled unit they are as a team. You so often see that with teams who are brothers, this kind of instinctive understanding of what your partner is thinking. Hunter runs into the elbow of Harting though, and Jim runs into the boot. The tag. Harting landed in a good place to get Shaqiri in. Shaqiri taking out Hunter. Impressive young man is this Ronaldo Shaqiri. Boot there from Jim Hunter. Kick right into the back of the head. Harting spine buster. Here comes Shaqiri though. Leaping back in. Referee McLaughlin has lost control of this. I have any idea who the legal men are. I don't think he does either. Stereo uppercuts from Harting and Shaqiri. Harting, Shaqiri. Accident, wow, goodness me. One Hunter brother accidentally powerbombing the other. Shaqiri and Harting having it all their own way here in Germany's capital. Harting looking to fly. Hunter brothers parting like the Red Sea there. But here comes Shaqiri over the top and takes out both of the Hunter brothers. Ronaldo Shaqiri enjoying the applause here. These great fans in Berlin. Powerbomb into the turnbuckle. Big spear by Shaqiri. The cover. Look at that, the dropkick breaks it up. Landed on the back of Shaqiri. All four men down. Great tag team action here. This bonus tag team match. Crowd chanting, this is awesome. Both the legal men now trying to get to their partners. Shaqiri makes the tag, as does Hunter. Hunter getting taken down by Harting onto the shoulders. The fireman's carry. Jim lands on his feet and tornado DDT. Harting rolling away. Shaqiri comes in without a tag. Again, some leniency here from referee. There's a tag to Lee Hunter. Not sure Shaqiri realised it. Got Jim on his back here. It's a neck breaker onto the knees. Oh, Jim. Big neck breaker from Lee Hunter. Big boot goes up from Harting. Jim launched by his brother. There's a Hurricane Rana off the top. And now a big splash. The Hunter brothers with a double pin, and that is enough. The Hunter brothers victorious.
And here are the winners, Jim and Lee, the Hunter brothers.
Great competitive tag match and impressive showing from Ronaldo Shaqiri and Tony Harting. But the Hunter brothers showing why they are one of the best tag teams anywhere on the independent wrestling scene with an impressive victory here at the Pro Wrestling World Cup qualifiers in Germany. Successful overseas trip for Jim and Lee, the Hunter brothers. So much action still to come from Berlin, including, as I said, the second round matches in those German qualifiers. WCPW title going to be on the line as well. Hendry against Primate. Shaqiri and Hartling into their feet, and now eyeball to eyeball with the Hunters. And that is good to see. A show of respect between two excellent tag teams. The Hunter brothers, your winners. Here as the German leg of the Pro Wrestling World Cup continues.
Berlin, einer Gegner vor der Pause, oder? Seid ihr bereit für den ersten Titelkampf des heutigen Abends? The following match is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is for the WhatCulture Pro Wrestling Internet Championship.
The Prestige looking to add to their championship haul here. If the Iron King, as he now calls himself, Joe Coffey, can overcome our reigning internet champion, Gabriel Kidd. Coffey, a big challenge for this young champion who has been building up a head of steam since that losing streak. Some impressive wins as champion. It could all come crashing down here though, against Coffey.
With a weight of 241 pounds, from Glasgow, Scotland, the Iron Man, Joe Coffey.
Now, Joe Coffey's outlook on life, Alex, has completely changed for the worse as far as I'm concerned ever since he's joined the Prestige.
It's really funny you say that, Dave, because I was just going to bring up how much I like Joe Coffey since he joined the Prestige. He's focused, he's determined. I think this is a turning point for Joe Coffey, because as you said, if he can leave here with the Internet Championship, and in fact I'm confident in saying when he leaves here with the Internet Championship, they are approaching a clean sweep with the WCPW titles are the Prestige.
Well, Coffey in the ring. Here comes the reigning Internet Champion. And Alex, I think you may have underestimated Gabriel Kidd. If you have, you're not the first one, because Gabriel Kidd, no one expected him to win the Internet title in the first place.
With a weight of 189 pounds, from Birmingham in England, he is the reigning WhatCulture Pro Wrestling Internet Champion, Gabriel Kidd.
Gabriel Kidd with a surprise victory over Cody Rhodes to become the Internet Champion. Since then he's had impressive wins against, among other people, Zack Sabre Jr., Shah Samuels, and Kidd, as proud to represent WhatCulture Pro Wrestling with that Internet title as anyone you could ever hope to meet. That Internet title is the very life, the very essence of Gabriel Kidd's being.
Well, I'm not underestimating Gabriel Kidd. You know, that match against Zack Sabre Jr. that you mentioned was an incredible showing by this young man. But Joe Coffey, I don't know, man. There's something about Coffey that in my mind makes him one of the toughest competitors in all of Europe right now. He's literally made of iron, this man.
You talk about how his attitude has, in your mind, improved. I wonder whether this chip on his shoulder, this sense of entitlement that Coffey and the rest of the Prestige seem to have, could be his undoing here. He almost, get the impression with Coffey, he almost thinks that Kidd doesn't deserve to share the ring with him. And that could lead him to a little bit of complacency here. Maybe that's wishful thinking on my part, because other than that, I agree. Coffey must be the favourite, despite the fact that he's the challenger.
What I find interesting with these two is in a world of larger-than-life characters that pro wrestling was for so many decades, this is just two trunks and boots wrestlers plying their trade right here in Germany.
Yeah, there's something distinctly old school about Gabriel Kidd, the way he's been trained. Actually mentored by a lot of people, including Prince Amin, who recently released him from his official duties as a manservant after a year or so of being under contract. Kidd has grown, not just as a wrestler, but as a man so much in the past year, still only 20 years old. Collar and elbow tie-up into the ropes, going to ask for a clean break. Well, Kidd gives him one. I'm not sure Coffey would have done the same in the opposite situation. Coffey, as I said, previously known as the Iron Man, now insisting on being referred to as the Iron King.
Does that mean he'll sit in an iron throne? That'd be cool.
I'm sure in his head he deserves to. But Gabriel Kidd is going completely level pegging here with Joe Coffey in the early moments. Kidd's been making a name for himself in WCPW. Coffey has as well, of course, but he's also had a lot of experience elsewhere, including in ICW, where he headlined a show at the Hydro in Glasgow in front of 6,000 people. Also, it was part of that ITV World of Sports special on New Year's Eve last year. Coffey's profile, Coffey's renown in the world of wrestling has been growing exponentially. It'll be another step up that ladder if Coffey can take home the internet title to the prestige here. Big shoulder block.
And I've mentioned this before, Dave, a mistake I often see Gabriel Kidd make, in my opinion, is that he tries to match whatever his opponent does. You know, with Zack Sabre Jr., it was wrestling, and amazingly, in that situation, it worked. But when you try and match power and striking ability with Joe Coffey, I mean, that is not a good way to go forward in your contest.
That's a good point, although Gabriel Kidd there showing some pretty good leg strength to escape what I think was an attempt at a Boston Crab. An inverted atomic drop from Kidd. Coffey will counter the Irish whip. Kidd puts the brakes on and kicks him in the face. Coffey going for the black coffee. Northern Light suplex from Gabriel Kidd. Kidd growing in confidence with every victory he gets here. Again, was 0-26 in WCPW. Unprecedented losing streak before he won the internet title.
He was like the anti-Goldberg.
Since winning the title though, the opposite has been true. He just can't lose. Lady Luck shining on Gabriel Kidd wherever he goes, it seems.
That's Lucky Kidd's mum.
What?
Lady Luck.
I thought you were going to tell me that Gabriel Kidd and Lucky Kidd were related then.
What, like Doug Williams and Travis Banks?
Oh, goodness, I shouldn't have given you ideas. Why feed the monster? Gabriel Kidd, though, in trouble on the outside. He's deposited in the front row. No barriers here in this arena in Berlin, so Joe Coffey with a straight run-up. Uses it to chop Kidd hard across the chest. Coffey, well, that's not smart. Coffey asking for a count out. You can't win the title on a count out, Joe. Never was the sharpest tool in the drawer, was he?
And listen to this, Berlin has not sung this hard since David Hasselhoff released his last album. He was very popular in Berlin.
You got that album? I don't know why I'm asking, I'm sure you have. Exactly your kind of music.
It's a classic. He did a cover of Just Another Brick in the Wall. Didn't go down very well.
Joe Coffey is built like a brick wall, and Kidd is trying to chop away at that wall, but with little success, it has to be said. Coffey, just such power behind every one of those boots. I've mentioned it many times, but Coffey with a great amateur sports background, particularly in rugby. Also a pretty accomplished striker, as you see in there. Mule kicks to Gabriel Kidd. Big running boot to the chest. Coffee will roll him over, goes for the cover, just a 1 count. Kid refusing to allow his shoulders to stay down for any time at all.
But those covers aren't about Joe Coffey winning, they're about exhausting Gabriel Kidd, and at this point it looks like that's working.
I don't know, Kidd, very well conditioned young man. We'll have to see if Coffey can outpace him here. Certainly going to outpower him, and you're right, this is exactly the kind of thing that Kidd doesn't want to be doing. He's getting into a strike battle here against Coffey, and that's a battle he probably can't win. Kidd, though, with a running boot, proven wrong. Oh, Coffey, though, with a equally big chop, and now those lefts and rights. Arguably closed fists there, referee allowing it. Headbutt right into the stomach there from Kidd, and Coffey catches him with the high leg.
And there you go, Dave. You play a striking game with Coffey, you're gonna lose. Particularly when you keep it within the rules, like Gabriel Kidd, with an open hand.
Coffey, though, was trying to capitalise there and try and pick up the win. Just a 2 count, but he's now doing more and more damage to that lower back.
Forget the iron throne, he's made a flesh one. Look at that.
Time for the camel clutch. In fact, he's countered or changed his tack at least into a pin attempt. If that doesn't work, he'll just kick you in the face. That is Joe Coffey all over.
Coffey is making Gabriel Kidd work overtime every second that passes in this match.
Such a unique championship reign, because every time Gabriel Kidd gets into the ring, unlike most champions, you always feel like he's the underdog. You always feel like there's a title change just around the corner. And yet Kidd continues to defy expectations.
Look at that closed fist by Coffey. Gabriel Kidd open hand. Sometimes you've got to fight fire with fire. Often that just creates more fire.
Went for a sunset flip, and now Coffey got the giant swing. Coffey, giant swing on the internet champion. A lot of power there from Joe Coffey, and now the half crab. Joe Coffey using that considerable weight advantage to cinch down, but Kidd was able just to stretch out and reach the bottom rope. Lots of support here for Coffey, and don't forget, by the way, not just among the crowd there's support, but Coffey has reinforcements back in the locker room as well. Kidd needs to keep an eye out. We know certainly that Joe Hendry is in the building because he has a match coming up later. We don't know what other members of the Prestige may be lurking in the shadows.
Whatever are you insinuating, Dave Bradshaw?
You know exactly what I'm insinuating.
No, I don't. That's why I asked.
Prestige.
Are you trying to say that the rest of the Prestige will interfere in this?
I'm saying it's a distinct possibility.
That's slander.
Well, I think the evidence from previous instances is in my favour. Trying to keep up with Coffey on these chops, but there's a little bit less power in those chops now, you get the sense from Kidd. He is being worn down gradually by this big Scot, Joe Coffey.
Prince Amin needs to finally speak to Gabriel Kidd and say stop using other people's master strategies against them, because it isn't working. Find what works for you and excel in it.
Something is clearly working for Kidd over the past couple of months since he won the title, because he's still the champion. Some people, including me, worried that some of his early victories were maybe flukes, winning with some roll-ups, but been a little bit more decisive in the way he's won his matches recently. Coffey, I think, is surprised, that Kidd is taking all of this abuse and is still on his feet.
This is like rope-a-dope. What is he doing, Gabriel Kidd? Just refuses to lose.
Kidd, that never give up attitude to life, that's what allowed him to get through that losing streak. It's got him to the internet title.
What you get from going up on John Cena.
Oh, went for the black coffee, did Coffey. Speaking of Cena, it looked like it could have been attitude adjustment from Kidd. Coffee on his shoulders, but Iron King fought his way free. Men running at each other with clothesline attempts. Again, the block of the Black Coffee. Kidd put the boot up, no one there. There's a German suplex and a big one from Coffee.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Dave, that's what I mean. I was going to say earlier, if I was Gabriel Kidd, I'd sucker Joe Coffey into thinking that the striking was going to continue and hit him with something else, and that's exactly what he did. And that is the wisest move Gabriel Kidd's made so far this match.
Gabriel Kidd with a ring presence here. You wouldn't expect from a 20-year-old to pull that off. Coffey was literally suckered in there. Kidd sends him face first into the turnbuckle. Gabriel Kidd trying to pick up the pace. There's a backdrop on Coffey. Joe Coffey is hurting. Kidd with a running boot to the face. Kidd over the top, lands on the apron, blocks the attempt at the right hand from Coffey. Kidd will go to the top. Kidd from up high. It's a missile drop kick. He'll go for the cover to retain the internet title. Is it enough? No, it's not.
And if you notice the change in fortunes for Gabriel Kidd, the moment he stopped trading offense and strikes with Joe Coffey, as soon as he switched it up, it was a totally different thing.
How much damage has been done? Gabriel Kidd needs to be capitalising while Coffey is down, but instead he's having to just gasp for air and take the time to recuperate. And that's giving Coffey a chance to get back to his feet.
Gabriel Kidd needs to pay attention, Dave, because there's a Coffey lurking in the wings.
Every time you see Gabriel Kidd do something wise beyond his years, there's always that risk of some kind of rookie errors, and you saw it there. He took his eye off the ball. Here comes Coffey, middle rope, top rope, crossbody. Cover to win the title. Kidd out of 2. Coffey maybe lining up Gabriel Kidd for that discus lariat, the Black Coffee. Yes, he is, goes for it. The second or third time he's gone for it. Kidd has blocked or ducked every time. Kidd rolls through.
Kamikaze crash, you know what's coming up now?
There's a second moonsault. Big one from Kidd, and he nailed all of it. Is that enough? Is it? No.
Hold on. Hold on. I mean, that looked like a 3.
It was extremely close. Kidd with the running boot from Gabriel Kidd. He got him. That's how Kidd beat Shah Samuels.
And still, WhatCulture Pro Wrestling Internet Champion, Gabriel Kidd.
Kidd beat Samuels that way. Now he's beaten Coffey as well. Kidd may have found the move that is going to keep him as Internet Champion for some time. He has knocked Joe Coffey out cold.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't a believer, but I'm in shock and awe, Dave. I mean, Gabriel Kidd, that was a decisive victory. A decisive victory against Joe Coffey. Wow.
Coffey was hoping to add to his prestige by taking the Internet title back to his gang of hooligans back in the locker room. But things did not go to plan. Gabriel Kidd, still your Internet Champion.
Hello, I'm your WhatCulture Pro Wrestling General Manager here with some good news and some bad news about the US qualifier of the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Unfortunately, owing to a last-minute change in circumstances, Cody Rhodes will no longer be a part of that tournament. However, we've come up with a brilliant replacement. We're going to replace him with Keith Lee. Keith Lee has been wowing the independent scene for the last few years, doing the kind of aerial moves that big men should not physically be able to do. He has been setting Evolve on fire, Rev Pro, PWG, Ring of Honor, take your pick. He's been everywhere, and we're proud to say he's part of the US qualifier of the Pro Wrestling World Cup. To get your tickets to see that show live on Friday, July the 21st in Manchester, get your tickets at ProWrestlingWorldCup.com.
The following match is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the WhatCulture Pro Wrestling Championship.
A bad night so far for the Prestige, but things can get a lot better if the prestigious one can somehow retain against the brand new WCPW Hardcore Champion.
Way to the ring with a weight of 229 pounds from Edinburgh, Scotland, the WhatCulture Pro Wrestling Champion, the prestigious one, Joe Hendry.
Well, even before he was WCPW champion, lingering under the surface was an ego the size of a small planet with Joe Hendry, but that has just enlarged multiple times over since he has had that title around his waist.
Dave, if you were Joe Hendry, you'd be 10 times worse when it came to the ego. He can wrestle, he can sing, he can talk, he's intelligent, he gets about 150 quid per signing of autographs. I mean, this guy he's prestigious in each and every way. If I died and I came back tomorrow, my two choices would either be Angelina Jolie or Joe Hendry. That's why I'd want to reincarnate him.
Imagine you were Angelina Jolie.
I never leave the house.
Hendry.
Giant mirror. Sorry, carry on.
Spend most of your time staring in the mirror anyway. As does Hendry, I think. Hendry trying to intimidate the referee. That is what the Prestige are all about, isn't it? It's all about intimidating opponents, officials, getting your own way.
No. I run the show. Don't introduce my opponent because I'm the champion and I've got something to say.
Champ's privileges.
So you know what that means, Germany? You know what that means, Berlin? For all of you, that means...
Thankfully for most of the German fans, they can't understand him.
Dave Bradshaw, you're not listening.
If you be quiet, I'll speak. If you be quiet, I'll speak. Or we can wait. Whatever you want, no problem. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah. Listen. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. And if you don't shut up, I'll get you to move. So shut up when I'm talking. Or I'll come out there and I'll slap each and every one of you. I'll slap that Batman logo right off your crappy t-shirt. Anyway, as I was saying, if everyone could just be quiet when the champ is talking. The legal team at Hendry Towers have been very busy because I'm the kind of guy that is the centerpiece at Milan Fashion Week. I'm the kind of guy that all the brands around the world want to be associated with. And WhatCulture Pro Wrestling keep putting me in situations where they're going to damage this face. Not going to happen. And now they've decided that Primate, the hardcore champion, is going to face me in a foreign country and disfigure this beautiful face. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. He's going to be sued if he even touches me. There's going to be no weapons because if there is, he's going to be disqualified. There's going to be no funny business. This is going to be a professional wrestling match right down the middle.
Sounds fair to me.
Now, I realize there's a whole bunch of you who don't like me, but there's a stag dude from Scotland who do like me.
I told you a stag do. I said it, didn't I? Greedo.
I'm starting to question their taste.
And everyone else can go home because, guys, this is just for you, what I'm about to say. Well, you know what I think the most pathetic thing about this show is? I think the most pathetic thing is that you idiots paid and wasted all your money to travel to Germany when I got paid to be here. You paid to be here. So who's the groom? Who's the groom? Because listen to this. When you walk down that aisle, you're going to have to look someone in the face. And she's going to be like, why did you spend all of her savings on going to see Joe Hendry? Is that what you did? You're going to go, yeah, I spent all my savings on going to see Joe Hendry. And you know what she's going to say? She's going to say, it's cool, babe. I like Joe Hendry as well.
She probably will, Dave. Who can blame her?
I'm bringing my opponent.
Oh, he's finished. Miracle we didn't run out of time.
He should be our ambassador to the EU.
Caused an international incident. Speaking of a man who causes incidents, Primate is a incident waiting to happen, to put it mildly. The new WCPW Hardcore Champion.
And his opponent, with a weight of 250 pounds, from parts unknown,
Primate, the first ever Hardcore Champion after beating Jimmy Havoc to win that right. And there are few more terrifying specimens in the wrestling world than that man.
And everybody in wrestling is talking about Primate, thanks to the new movie that's coming out, which documents his family heritage. What? It's the latest Planet of the Apes release. I think it's War of the Planet of the Apes. Well, as it's also known, Sunday round at Primate's house.
Feel lucky he can't understand you, you know. Maybe his next victim.
Maybe we should communicate in cave paintings.
Well, Primate prefers to communicate through violence, and he's done that very effectively against all comers here in WCPW before he became the Hardcore Champion, notably that best of 7 series against Rampage. Hendry has somehow managed to even turn his own countrymen against him. Takes some doing.
Jealousy.
Maybe it's just the fact that Joe Hendry literally could not care any less about other human beings than he does. He is all about Joe Hendry and about nothing else.
I think Joe Hendry should be the best man after that speech. I'm sure he'd do it. 20 grand.
Yeah, it's all about
the decimal point and where that falls in his paycheck.
For a man who says it's not about the money, but it's about the prestige, Joe Hendry sure does like collecting cash, doesn't he?
Well, the more cash you have, the more prestigious you can be. It's simple, basic mathematics.
I'd ask you to explain that, but I've just realised I don't care.
This is why you'll always be poor, Dave Bradshaw, and unprestigious.
Just because Joe Hendry calls himself prestigious doesn't actually make it true.
I call him prestigious, so it must be.
That adds to the case against.
Oh, look at that. Hendry with the belt straight away.
Hendry is...
he was trying to give it to Primate, just to let him look at it.
What a gentleman, eh? Primate. Big overhead suplex. And Hendry already retreating to the outside. And given the form that Primate has been on, that's led into the Hardcore title, if I was Joe Hendry, I would be particularly worried here about the possibility of Primate taking the gold right here in Berlin.
Not just Primate, he's just upset an angry, travelling abroad Scottish stag do. I mean, that's like trying to start a fight with a nest of vipers surrounded in piranhas.
What?
I'm trying to think of something worse than a drunken Scottish overseas stag do that you've just insulted. Oh, look at this.
Well, I think I'm the least of their worries. Joe Hendry has insulted them more than anyone else in the building here.
Primate thought Joe Hendry's head was a banana.
You know, this I don't think the bell is wrong here, by the way.
What's the bella's got to do with it?
The bell, the ring bell, has not yet rung. This is a brawl. It's not supposed to be a hardcore match. The reason there isn't a count going on is I don't think we've even started the match. It's just a pre-game, if you like, for Primate. Well, Hendry, though, is looking worse for wear. Hang on. Big slap across the chest of the champion. And hang on, Primate.
Oh, he's going to go and hibernate. See you in 6 months. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hendry wishes. Hendry wishes he was going to go and hibernate. Primate with a steel chair. Oh, he's got the throat of Hendry. Oh, my goodness. The larynx of Joe Hendry crushed against the top of that chair. Dangerous stuff from Primate.
Primate has rapidly transformed the ringside area. Talking of which, what's Primate's favourite transformer?
What? I don't know.
Optimus Primate.
Seriously, how long did that one take you to think of?
It was instantaneous.
Oh, hang on, Primate. Primate's taking a run up here. Primate! Big running drop kick. Running kick at least into the side of the chest of Hendry, knocks him off that chair. And again, this match has not even begun. That's why there's no countdown. That's why the use of the chair hasn't brought a disqualification, because we're not even started yet.
Hendry needs to regroup and rethink, because this is not looking good for the prestigious one. The champ is in trouble, and it pains me to say it, but sadly not as much as it pains Hendry.
Emphasise on the word group and regroup there. You've got to think that Hendry has a backup plan if this doesn't go.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because every single piece of past evidence indicates that he will do whatever he needs to do in terms of bringing the prestige out here if it'll get him the victory. How can you deny that? You can't deny that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just seeing Hendry dominate here. Look at that. And this crowd booing because Hendry went to the eyes, whereas Primate has gone to every single part of this building with some sort of violent intention. Come on, champ.
Hendry.
He may be the greatest man that's ever lived. I don't care what Austin Aries says. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Look at it all.
Well, this crowd slightly less infatuated with Joe Hendry's brilliance than you are, but he's going to start believing his own hype if he continues to take control here against the hardcore champion.
And he's enraged, Joe Hendry. And you don't annoy the prestigious one. Yeah, you tell him, champ. Have I mentioned how much of a fan of Joe Hendry I am?
Yes, literally 5 seconds ago. Joe Hendry growing in confidence, if that's possible. Primate going into that barrier.
Joe Hendry is a grower and a shower. That's how great he is.
You just found 2 words that rhyme and tried to make it sound like a coherent point. Hendry putting the boot in. Pectoral, that left pectoral area of Primate. Smashing him head first into that metal floor.
Take that, you weird no monkey.
We've seen this ruthless side of Hendry before. How he won the title in the first place from Martin Kirby after Kirby got a head injury. And those two's match ended up at ringside, and then Hendry refusing to stop focusing on the skull until the referee had to stop the match.
Look at this idiot on the ring. Get off the ring! Can you believe that? Oh, lucky Hendry didn't flatten him. And what does this say about the champion, our champion, Joe Hendry, that he can match this kind of offense with Primate and make it even? I mean, this guy's the hardcore champion and Joe Hendry's taking it to him.
Do you want me to just give you a cheerleader costume for Joe Hendry?
I'm just respecting the champ. The proper one, not the hardcore one. Some belt they just invented.
So the hardcore title's not proper, but suddenly Hendry is he?
That's it, beat him with a monkey mask.
So biased. Hendry, so far in his less than illustrious title reign, has also had to cheat to beat Martin Kirby a second time. Cheated to beat Rampage. Not exactly the most admirable of title reigns.
Oh, what? Whoa.
Oh, Hendry with a backdrop on Primate. Hendry, quick to congratulate himself. Once again, I haven't heard a bell. This match has not begun. Primate has been pushed down this rampway.
Joe Hendry is just great at everything he does. You know, he was in Milan recently, as he mentioned earlier. He got paid more for being on that stage, that catwalk in Milan, than most wrestlers in the United Kingdom make in a year. You know, you see all these wrestlers going, oh, I've done this many matches this year, oh, I've done this many shows this year, like it's some badge of honour. Joe Hendry got paid more than all of them. That's because he's a professional wrestler and not just a dumb mark.
I can't believe you're going to criticise wrestlers for wanting to wrestle.
Professionally, if you're professional, he's a prestigious professional. He's all the P's.
You with your alliteration. Anyway, Primate being led up by Hendry up to the bar area. Slammed into the bar here in Huxley's Neue Welt. The kind of brawl only normally seen during Oktoberfest.
What month is Oktoberfest again?
It was in September.
That's weird.
That is weird, I'll grant you.
Whoa.
Hendry over the top of the bar. And Primate, I think he's going to follow him. Hendry is, what he's doing, looking for something he can use as a weapon maybe. Well, Hendry is filling up a glass of water, but had absolutely no effect at all.
What a sportsman Hendry is, offering a drink of water to refresh his opponent before the match continues. That's the kind of action you can only see from the Prestige.
If there's one thing one word I would use to describe the Prestige, it would be sporting. Goodness sake. You ever listen back to yourself?
Oh, all the time. I'm my own ringtone.
Why am I not surprised? Primate throws Hendry back into the ring. Hendry is trying his best to flee.
He's not fleeing, Dave. He's just creating an opportunity to do that. That's why he's the champion.
Ever the opportunist is Joe Hendry. There's a DDT from the champion. Looking to retain against Primate.
Oh. Slow count.
Slow count.
Slow. I'm telling you now, that was a slow count.
What's wrong with that?
What is it about Joe Hendry that now that he's seized his destiny, he's grasped the brass ring that everybody talks about? Why is it made of brass, by the way? Why is it not gold? That makes more sense. Since Hendry has been on this winning form and this winning streak, winning the title, you're remiss to say anything positive about him. What is it about him that stops you saying, come on, say something about the champ?
Okay, I'll say something about the champ. I have not yet seen Joe Hendry retain his title without cheating.
Oh.
There's a fact for you.
Did he get caught?
Well, obviously not.
So then it's not cheating, is it? Because you're not a referee, you're a commentator. So if the ref says it was fair, then it's fair. That's the way it works, you see.
Well, there's some twisted logic, if ever I heard it. Hendry cover again. Right leg hook, just a 1 count this time.
It's actually very sound logic, because if he cheated and he got caught, he'd be disqualified. But he didn't, and he won. So it makes sense. So now say something else about Joe Hendry. Come on, he is taking it to Primate.
Well, that is another thing about Joe Hendry. He has absolutely no compassion for other human beings, and he nearly ended the career of Martin Kirby.
Not another bad thing, a good thing. Come on, I'm giving you this platform to say one good thing about Joe Hendry. Would it hurt you that much?
I want to say something good about. Why would I want to say something good about a human being as obnoxious as Joe Hendry?
He's our champion. He is prestigious.
It's not prestigious just because he calls himself that.
You've got problems. Not as big as Primate. Look at him. He's in a world of trouble here. Go on, champ.
Yeah, Hendry may be going for the freak of nature. In fact, he was, but Primate lands on his feet behind. Big spine buster from Primate.
Oh.
Primate could leave here as the face of WCPW.
Oh, will you shut up? One spine buster. Who's the cheerleader now?
You're going to call me a cheerleader? The way you've been behaving towards Hendry ever since this match.
Well, he's got the champ's advantage.
Now, I think referee Sean McLaughlin is asking these two men back to their corners.
Is that the end of the round?
We don't have rounds. Primate! Oh, Primate gonna charge! Oh, referee! Referee! Got speared by Primate. There's a low blow! Hendry cheats again!
How is it? Hold on, Primate was the one that attacked the referee, and now you're saying that Hendry's cheating.
He didn't deliberately attack the referee,
Primate did it. Well, that's not what I saw.
You see what you want to see. You see that?
Yeah, I did see it, because Primate purposely took out the referee to leave Hendry in a vulnerable position, so Hendry fought fire with water. Not fire, Gabriel, kids.
You are...
look at...
the worst kind of apologist for the prestige.
How unfair is this? Explain to me now how Hendry isn't the champion, retaining champion. Because Primate took out the referee, I'm getting so angry.
Yeah, terribly unfair that you can't win with a low blow and a belt shot, isn't it?
Idiot referee sleeping.
Primate, gonna choke out Hendry! Primate gonna choke out Hendry!
Oh, shut up! Come on, champ!
We can have a new WCPW champion right here! Primate! Hendry is fading fast!
Oh, get to those ropes!
Hendry is fading!
Go on!
We still don't have a referee!
He's in the ropes! Oh, that should be a break!
Well, there's no referee! A minute ago you were fine with that. Primate is gonna choke out Hendry!
Stay strong!
Primate is seconds away from becoming WCPW champion!
Oh, I feel sick in my stomach.
Hendry might tap! Hendry's tapping! Hendry tapping! Referee rings the bell!
No.
Primate is the WCPW champion!
No.
Primate wins it!
Hold on!
History made in Berlin! This is unbelievable!
I didn't see... I saw Hendry communicating that he was all right by tapping the opponent, saying I'm okay in here. He didn't tap...
What is this now? Referee has taken the belt from Primate.
All right, this is confusing.
Referee is talking to our ring announcer.
And here is the official decision by the referee. Joe Hendry gets disqualified. And here is your winner by disqualification, Primate.
What?
Well, that doesn't do Primate any favours.
Do you know what? Dave Pratchett, how can this referee disqualify Hendry?
The reigning WhatCulture Pro Wrestling Champion, the prestigious one, Joe Hendry.
Primate got away. He was lucky in that, I tell you right now.
What do you mean he was lucky? Hendry tapped out.
He was out for the count. No referee to cover the pin. Hendry's been robbed. I mean, he's leaving with a belt. That's a travesty.
Well, has he been robbed? He hasn't lost anything. Primate should be the WCPW champion. I assume the disqualification is because Hendry laid his hands on the referee. But Hendry won't care. Hendry, with so little professional pride, he doesn't care if he loses, as long as he keeps the title. Absolutely vile. What a sorry excuse for a WCPW champion.
It's a sea of random fingers. It's like a leprosy convention.
These German fans letting Joe Hendry know exactly what they think of him. Primate holding the hardcore title up high, but he was hoping to leave with 2 belts. Instead, Joe Hendry, the prestigious one, retains the WCPW title in Berlin.
This is your WCPW General Manager, and I'm here to announce the official brackets for the US Qualifier of the Pro Wrestling World Cup 2017. On the left side of the bracket, it's High Flyer against High Flyer as tag team partners face off, with Ricochet taking on Matt Sydal. Next up, the Cowboy James Storm faces off against a professional mind blower, Keith Lee. The winners of those 2 matches will battle to determine the first competitor advancing to the finals in August. Over on the right side of the bracket now, we start with the best first-generation wrestler in the world, Jay Lethal, facing off against Moose. Finally, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, David Starr, versus the one and only Bobby Fish. The winners of those matches will then fight to determine our second finalist. Tickets to see these phenomenal matches live on Friday, 21st of July in Manchester are available now at ProWrestlingWorldCup.com.
Berlin, are you ready for the next one? The following match is scheduled for 1 fall.
Well, a new chapter in the career of a man who betrayed his brother. Lucas Archer and Alex Gracie, Prospect, were absolute heroes in the eyes of many WCBW fans until Gracie turned his back on Archer, and now launching his career, Gracie believes he has gone from a prospect and has become a legend.
With a weight of 187 pounds, from Nottingham in England, the legend, Alex Gracie.
You're someone who enjoys that kind of behaviour. I suppose you're going to defend Alex Gracie turning his back on his longtime best friend Lucas Archer.
Dave, sometimes in life you have to seize your destiny. You have to look at a goal and you have to channel and focus your entire being with sheer determination into that goal. The goal of Alex Gracie is to be a legend. He calls himself a legend and he walks like a legend into this ring here in Germany to prove a point. And that point, my friend, and you're not my friend, is that his decision to leave Lucas Archer was a smart one. And to be honest, look at him in the ring right now, Dave. He looks like a man on a mission. And I don't mean Mo or Mabel.
It was so unnecessary.
Or Oscar.
What? Goodness sake. So unnecessary. Archer was already having to take some time out. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but here comes Gracie's opponent, one of the men who has qualified for the finals of the World Cup.
Dave Bradshaw, do my eyes deceive me, or is that a self-drying jacket? Made famous in Back to the Future too.
You are such a movie geek today, you know. What were you mentioning earlier? That's boots or something?
I'll tell you what, if that is what I think it is, that jacket, I need to go speak to Kenny Williams and see if he's got that almanac, and then I can tell you who's going to win in the finals.
Well, Kenny Williams, if you ask him, he'll tell you he's going to win in the finals. He believes destiny is on his side because Williams was given a second chance. He did not originally qualify to represent Scotland in the World Cup finals, but after Drew Galloway rejoined WWE and was no longer eligible to take part in those finals.
What do you mean Drew Galloway rejoined WWE?
What?
I haven't been here for 6 weeks and everything's changed. Where did Drew go? Have you not been paying? Have you been living under a rock? I've been on holiday.
We could stay on holiday. Anyway, Williams had a...
I went to Orlando.
Well, whilst you were hanging out with Mickey Mouse, Kenny Williams and BT Gunn, the losing second round contestants from that Scottish qualifier, competed to fill that vacancy. Williams was victorious, so it will be Kenny Williams who joins Joe Coffey as the Scottish representatives in the finals of the World Cup.
And you mentioned that ITV World of Sport special on New Year's Eve. I tell you what, Kenny Williams was a man that really made a name for himself. Over 1 million people watched that show live, and I tell you, I mean, Kenny Williams was just phenomenal in that. I'm a big fan of Kenny Williams, but he's no legend. That's Alex Gracie.
Gracie's going to send Williams to the outside. Williams holds on, flips back into the ring. Gracie doesn't know it. Now he does. Williams goes for a close and gets him with the elbow instead. Gracie not having the most legendary start to his singles career so far. The thing I was going to say about Gracie, by the way, it was completely unnecessary for him to turn his back on Lucas Archer. Archer had already had his last match in Prospect. They were just celebrating what was an incredible run together on top of the stage, and Gracie, for no reason whatsoever, attacked Archer. It was Archer's moment to enjoy the applause of our fans.
You know what they say, Dave? It's better to burn up than to fade away. Prospect would have just faded away, but in the legendary actions of Alex Gracie, he made sure that tag team burnt up and everybody knew about it.
wish Lucas Archer well in his... I wish Lucas Archer well.
Oh, you didn't say that.
Most of us here at WCBW do. Here's a cover from Williams. As he attempts to recover from the knee injury that's put him out of action indefinitely, but Gracie, meanwhile, looking to draw a line under that part of his life and start things out afresh here with a victory over a World Cup finalist. Williams trying to pick up Alex Gracie from a difficult angle. Gracie counters. The throat of Williams down over the top rope. Gracie and the boot in.
Steve Austin could not have done it better.
Steve Austin is a legend. Alex Gracie still with a little way to go, despite the renown that he has in his own head.
Yeah, but he didn't start a legend, Steve Austin. This is what I call Alex Gracie's Stunning Steve period. Let's hope he avoids the Ringmaster period.
Goes for a cover here and is showing considerable mastery against Williams at the moment, but Gracie been for so long a tag team specialist with a real change to make here.
Like the Hollywood Blondes, another Steve Austin reference.
He's not Steve Austin. He's safe. Both shoulders go down. Gracie nearly losing to Williams right there.
Snap side suplex. Look at that, Kenny Williams always thinking. Rolls away from his opponent.
Williams is trying to give himself a little bit of recovery time. Gracie not going to allow it, but Williams.
You've heard the expression, take the fight to your opponent. He's taking the fight away from his opponent. Clever.
Playing Matador here is Williams.
What, Tito Santana?
No. You know what I mean. Gracie, we know, has a short temper, and he has got to be getting frustrated here at his inability to get his hands on Williams.
Williams is on a roll. Well, he was.
Williams! Leaping elbow to the jaw of Gracie. Gracie landed hard on his back on the corner of the apron. Williams from the boot there to Gracie. Kenny Williams will fly! And this self-imposed nickname of legend that Alex Gracie has given himself is starting to look a little bit more dubious now.
Legends don't get born in the second, they get born over a lifetime. Just because Kenny Williams has got the advantage now, don't write off Gracie. That's what I say.
You might be writing him off if this hits.
Oh my God, hang time.
Huge elbow from Williams to beat Gracie, though.
Felt like I was watching Randy Savage in the 80s with hang time on that.
Kenny Williams, I think, a little bit surprised that wasn't enough to put away Gracie.
Oh, that was a bit Randy Savage as well. I'm digging it.
So in your head, you're watching Randy Savage and Steve Austin.
I'm not answering that. Look at this.
Full Nelson slam from Gracie.
Legendary.
Go for the cover, and once again Williams gets out. And again, there you see that frustration starting to build. If Alex Gracie has an Achilles heel, it is that temper.
It's the stress of being a legend in your own lifetime. It's a lot to bear.
It's the stress of naming yourself as a legend. Well, here's the fall from Gracie, he calls it, the move that he used against Archer.
The speed of Kenny Williams.
Cover from Williams, and
Williams is so explosive. You know, it's hard to find somebody as fast and explosive as Kenny Williams anywhere in Europe. I mean, this guy is just, there's something about him that's very different.
I've heard more than one person call Kenny Williams their dark horse pick to win this entire Pro Wrestling World Cup. Williams, by virtue of being here in Berlin, has a great opportunity to scout out his potential future German opponents. Those second round matches to decide who will be the two German representatives on the way after this contest. Williams rolls through and shoulder first into the ring post. Goes Williams. Again going for the fall from Gracie. Oh, he gets it, gets it. Plants him, skull first, middle of the canvas, leg hooked. Alex Gracie defeats Kenny Williams.
And here is your winner, the legend, Alex Gracie.
And that is how legends are born, Dave Bradshaw. Come on, say how impressed you are. You wouldn't do it with Hendry, do it with Gracie.
I will reluctantly grant you that that is an impressive win against an opponent of the highest caliber. Alex Gracie with exactly the kind of start to his singles career that he was hoping for.
Like I said, he is a man on a mission, and that mission is off to a very good start with a win there over Kenny Williams. Impressive stuff. What a legend.
So Alex Gracie leaves Berlin with a victory at the expense of Kenny Williams. Williams moves on though to those World Cup finals in August. And speaking of the World Cup, those second round matches in the German qualifiers are coming up next. First of our second round matches here in the Pro Wrestling World Cup German qualifiers, and two high flyers about to meet for the chance to go to the finals.
Pro Wrestling World Cup. Das bedeutet, der Sieger dieses Kampfes ist automatisch qualifiziert als einer von nur 2 deutschen Teilnehmern für den Pro Wrestling World Cup im August in England.
Ring announcer explaining the winner of this match will go through to be one of those 2 German representatives. Here comes the Mack.
In the immortal words of Mark Morrison, is the return of the Mack.
You've been waiting to do that, haven't you, for the past hour?
Yeah, a bit longer than that actually.
The Mack victorious over Cem Kaplan earlier on in the first round. And what's interesting about that is it was a pretty quick victory, the fastest of all 4 of those first round matches. So Mack, quite possibly, is going to be in the best shape of these 2 as we advance into this second round match.
I tell you, Mack, definitely the freshest man in our 2 final matches here of the evening. And I was impressed with the Mack. I mean, he definitely has something. Like you said, competed in that Cruiserweight Classic in WWE, and he definitely picked up a thing or 2 from that experience.
The Mack hoping to go on to another major tournament here. As I said, 1 win away from those finals in England in August. A much tougher first round match perhaps for Lucky Kid, who was on the receiving end of a lot of punishment from Juvenile X. Not only was it a longer match, but he's had less time to recover as well. Lucky Kid, what presumably will be an uphill struggle here against the Mack. It's a ball of nervous energy, isn't he?
That's why I think this match has the potential to be possibly the match of the night, Dave. These 2 guys just so explosive in the ring. I was impressed with both of them in the first round. And if Lucky Kid, as long as he still has something left in the tank, and that entrance right there proves to me that he probably does, this one's going to be something special.
Well, Lucky Kid posing for our fans here in Huxley's Neue Welt in Berlin. A first-time encounter here in the second round. Lucky Kid and the Mack have never before faced each other in one-on-one competition.
I had a cat called Lucky. True story.
Was she lucky?
She got run over, which is also a true story. It's tragic, it's a tragic story, But that just proves, philosophical point of the evening, that calling yourself something doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
Yeah, like
unless you're Alex Gracie. Don't even go.
I was going to say
don't even go
one.
there. I knew where that was going. I saw the hamster jump on the wheel in your brain, the dead hamster that just flops around there.
I've been your dead cat.
Oh, that was hurtful.
Sorry.
Still not recovered from that.
Too soon.
Well, it was 20 years ago, but still.
Lucky Kid taking a cautious approach here to Mack.
Rest in peace, Lucky. Not the wrestler, the feline.
Are you crying? Never mind.
It's hot in here. Sweat.
Goes for an early pin.
Whoa!
To the face. Put his head down too early, the Lucky Kid.
Up and over twice. And look at this, off the ropes again, and comes back and wow.
Mack getting the better of that exchange. Mack is thinking, I think, about launching himself into the air. Does so. Lands on his feet after Lucky Kid moved out the way, but gets caught on the rebound. Lucky Kid showing no signs of that wear and tear from that war against Juvenile X.
And Lucky Kid knows that he is in there with an opponent who really reserved his energy earlier in the night. So he's going to have to do everything he can to win this one early, because the longer it goes, the more of a disadvantage Lucky Kid's going to have.
Kid will go for the cover, gets two. Don't forget, as always, if you're watching at home, you want to let us know if you think Lucky Kid can beat Mack, what you think is going to happen in the other second round match as well between Bad Bones and Cash Money Erkan. You can give us your opinions, join the conversation, hashtag Pro Wrestling World Cup. Lucky Kid.
Oh, nice.
Heel into the face, right? He might have broken his nose there. Leaping springboard forearm from Mack.
These guys just hit incredibly fast offense out of every position you can imagine.
Again, no wasted motion from Mack. Suplex floated over immediately into the pin. Mack with that left leg.
He's even more determined tonight, Dave, because his father is in attendance.
Is he?
Yeah, the Mack's daddy.
What?
The Mack's daddy. He's in attendance.
Again, you've made that up. Was he part of that Scottish stag do you were talking about?
It was urban slang. For a moment I thought you'd be cool, but clearly not.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Mack daddy, I'll forget it.
So his dad's not here?
He's not here, no.
Right,
no.
Well, why did you say he is?
I was making conversation. I wish I hadn't bothered.
I wish you hadn't bothered.
I wish you hadn't bothered being born.
Oh, that's unpleasant. So Mack stretching out. The right arm and the ribs of Lucky Kid.
What's the Mack's favourite fast food restaurant?
Is this a lie as well? McDonald's.
No, Burger King.
Oh. Is that an actual fact? Of course not.
I'll leave that for you to ponder. Oh, look at this. Chops, open hand. Chops, open hand.
And Mack going to have a head of steam here. Going to take a run up. Seen him do this earlier in the night against Cem Kaplan. Mack charges a forearm right into the jaw. Lucky Kid goes down, maybe out cold here to go to the finals. Mack was a half second away from being one of those two German representatives. Look at so many of the names who have already qualified, some of the absolute best pro wrestlers in the world. Rey Mysterio for Mexico. We already talked about the Scottish contingent. Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay for England. And of course, many still to come as well from Japan, USA, the rest of the world.
Hold on.
Which one of these two will join that already illustrious list? Could be Mack with any more knees like that. Impressive stuff from Mack with a back elbow off the handspring from Lucky Kid. Will his luck hold for 3 seconds? It held for 2, but not quite for 3.
Not enough body on body with that pinfall. What you got to do. And I'll tell you another thing, Lucky Kid was so involved with this crowd, but sometimes there's a benefit because it can pump your adrenaline, but right there he turned his attention away, and I think it cost him. You have to stay focused on your opponent if you want to advance.
Big chop across the chest from Lucky Kid, the Mack into the corner. Another forearm. Lucky Kid, just 24 years of age, 6 years younger than his opponent. It's a snapmare takedown from Mack. Oh God, look at that kick.
Nothing lucky about that. It was a very unlucky kick.
Cover, leg hooked. Again though, Mack, not quite enough yet. Lucky Kid still has something in him.
You know what I like most about when the Mack wrestles and you commentate?
What?
It sounds like you're trying to be street, and it's the uncoolest thing I've ever heard. You've never sounded more white.
What? It's his name. I'm just saying his name.
Say it again.
Oh, cover from Lucky Kid. The Mack kicks out.
What? Sorry.
What is wrong with you? I'm doing my job. To learn something. Again, our thanks to the German Wrestling Federation, GWF, for co-hosting these German qualifiers. We've had a great time in Berlin. We're not done yet.
No, there's still the after party. Is that what you meant? Oh, look at this.
What after party? Never mind. The Mack, that's a clothesline.
Wow.
Goes to the Rana, gets it. The Mack quickly up to the top, springboard up to the top
God.
rope.
Corkscrew from the top after a springboard. Two, and this could, whoa. I'll tell you what, that's what I mean about this explosive offense that comes out of any position from these two guys. I mean, the Mack there, he get hang time on that corkscrew. That senton from the top. I mean, these guys are very impressive. But right now, I might have to go for the Mack. He may just be my pick.
Well, Mack's going to block this suplex attempt from Lucky Kid. Stamps on the leg. Smart move from the Mack. Drops him on the back of his neck. And was that all? Thought that would be enough, but Lucky Kid, in the nick of time, holds on to his position in this Pro Wrestling World Cup, for now at least. Great second round action here.
And it's interesting that considering this is the second round, I was expecting these guys to take their time and be cautious, but no way. They both come in here, head of steam, and this one's developed fast and frantically.
The Mack now with Lucky Kid on his shoulders. Kid is trying with everything he's got to wriggle himself free. Instead he gets deposited on the top turnbuckle. Kid's still fighting it. That might slow him down. Shot right into the jaw. The Mack is trying, I think, for something here that would maybe put Lucky Kid away. Instead he's pushed away. Oh God. Echoed around the arena, that strike. Here we go, Hurricane Rana from the Mack on Lucky Kid. Leg hooked to go to the finals, and again, Lucky Kid found a way out on 2 3/4.
He's living up to his name now, Dave Bradshaw. I mean, that was lucky. I thought that was done. I nearly called it. I'm glad I didn't.
Is it luck or is it tenacity? Whatever it is, this Lucky Kid is hanging in there by his fingertips against the Mack. Lucky Kid with only a vague awareness, I think, at this point of where he is. The Mack trying to finish it.
Palm strikes are lethal.
Glassy-eyed look from Lucky Kid. Going for the DDT maybe, the Mack counters.
Had it well scouted, Dave. Oh, look at this. Oh, German.
The suplex, Dragon suplex,
he
got it.
That Dragon suplex did it. Wow.
Und damit qualifiziert für die Pro Wrestling World Cup im August in England, Lucky Kid.
Dave, that was out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, these guys trading moves, and just like that, it's over. And what an impressive win for Lucky Kid.
Well, we said the deck was stacked against him, having had such a difficult first round match and less time to recover. But Lucky Kid somehow rode his luck and defeated Mack here in the second round. Lucky Kid will be the first of 2 German representatives to go on to England and the World Cup Finals, August 23rd to 26th. So Mack is in shock here. I don't think he can quite believe that he hasn't won it. Well, hang on. Now look at this on the stage. This is interesting.
Oh, you know who that is, Dave?
That is Tarkan Aslan.
I was just going to say that.
Lucky Kid's tag team partner
and mentor.
What is he doing here? So he's just here to applaud his tag partner. Good sign of team unity here. He's not the only one applauding. Lucky Kid getting applause from this crowd in Berlin. He is going to the World Cup Finals.
Die German Wrestling Federation präsentiert Grand Slam Wrestling.
Hallo Berlin! Party time! Hier ist die German Wrestling Federation! Was für ein Match! Oh mein Gott! Alles kann hier passieren! Unfassbar! Und das war's!
Mit dabei Bobby Lashley, Carlito, Drago, GWF Heavyweight Champion Moose. Diese und viele weitere GWF-Topstars erlebt ihr live bei Europas größtem Open-Air-Wrestling-Event. GWF Grand Slam Wrestling. 12. August, Zitadelle Spandau in Berlin. Tickets auf dodotickets.de und auf Eventim.
Second of 2 second round matches on the way. It's the tail of the tape between Bad Bones and Cash Money Erkan. Erkan clearly with the height advantage, but Bad Bones, one of the toughest brawlers anywhere in the world.
And Dave, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. I want you to pick me a winner.
You know, as impressive as Erkan was
Bad Bones.
in that first
I've done
round.
it for you. Bad Bones.
I was going to agree with you if you let me finish the sentence.
Well, I didn't. There was no need for you to answer. I thought if you don't say Bad Bones in a few seconds, you're an idiot. I'm impressed by Cash Money Erkan, but Bad Bones, he's a machine.
But the fact that I was going to say Bad Bones, does that mean I'm not an idiot?
Well, you say that now.
Anyway, here he is, Erkan. Erkan with a win over Rambo Braun in the first round.
Bad Bones. Sorry, we just did that.
Yeah, I know. Erkan, all 6'7" of him, looking to prove that he is the future of German wrestling. Against Bad Bones here. Bad Bones, if there is one thing that is to the advantage here of Erkan, you'd have to say it's that, again, he has had longer to rest. His match was on earlier on the show than Bad Bones, and Bones had a particularly grueling encounter against Pascal Spalter. Bones will be hurting, but for Bad Bones, pain is like a treat. He enjoys pain. He may have some more pain to go through yet if he is going to overcome Erkan and join Lucky Kid in the World Cup Finals. Here he comes. As I said, one of the toughest men, not just in the wrestling world, but in the world as a whole. Bad Bones is an absolute beast. Bad Bones, clearly the favourite here, but Cash Money Erkan has been surprising people throughout his career so far. He's been a wrestler for 9 years. He's going to have to use every bit of experience he has earned so far in his career. He is going to beat the 13-year veteran, Bad Bones.
Bad Bones. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when he comes for you? Run is the answer, Dave Bradshaw. That's my version of Bad Boys.
Running is not an option for Erkan, so...
Well, he ran at him. That was a shock.
Well, when flight's not an option, your only option is fight, and that's what Erkan is doing here against Bad Bones. A spot in the World Cup finals for Germany on the line.
Which, ironically, if he gets that spot, he'll take a flight over to England. So it is an option.
So it will be. Oh, just never mind. You take things so literally.
The big advantage and the one advantage that Cash Money has here. Oh! All right, well, that's out the window. You talk.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say a height advantage, but not when you're getting thrown as upside down. I mean, that just makes it a disadvantage. It's even higher up in the air. Oh, God.
Well, speaking of being in the air, Bad Bones is thinking about doing exactly that. Bones between the middle and bottom rope. Sends Erkan into the front row. Bones. Extremely confident here. The crowd chanting, Bad Bones going to kill you. If he does many more of those, he just might. Rearing through the chairs goes Erkan.
I don't know what Erkan was doing there. He kind of stood up and almost said to this crowd, listen, I'm not out yet. And Bad Bones responded just with a second dive.
Bones trying to win it there, gets 2 count. Erkan wagging his finger to say no, not yet. Preferably not ever from Erkan's perspective. Erkan, another one of those trademark uppercuts sends Bad Bones crashing to the ringside area. Erkan not going to give Bones any time here. He'll send him onto the ring apron.
Most people do a belly to back onto the ring apron, but Erkan is so big he did a side suplex and he was still high enough. This guy's a giant.
Big suplex.
Gosh.
And there is absolutely no padding on that hard floor. As you see Bad Bones holding his back in agony. The battle to be the 10th of 16 men in the World Cup finals, the first tournament of its kind the wrestling world has ever seen. Erkan trying to kick into the face. Bones moved out of the way and that may have saved the match for him. Bones, oh God, again Erkan piling into those chairs. Bones will do whatever it takes. Now, if you're Erkan, presumably you must want to get this back in the ring. Bad Bones is completely at home when he's out here in the crowd.
If you're Erkan, you have a problem because you're Mr. Uppercut. But look at the depth of the chest of Bad Bones. You hit that man with an uppercut. I mean, a lot of that shock is going to be absorbed by the muscularity of his upper body. So Erkan needs to do something different, and that's it right there, that kick. Straight to the head. There's no machine in the gym that helps you build the muscles in your head. And I've looked.
Well, Erkan has got Bones up here. Again, much better for Erkan to be inside the ring. There's a big superplex, the ring shook. Bones already landing hard on his back on that arena floor. He's going to double down on the pain in the lumbar region.
Let's do the math on that. That top rope has got to be, what, 4 feet tall? Maybe 4.5 feet tall. Cash Money is about 6.5 feet tall. He was up in the air for, I mean, the smaller the back of Bad Bones, well, just a 2. The smaller the back of Bad Bones must have been, what, 12, 14 feet up in the air there. I mean, that's a long way to fall. You're trying to, I'd see what you're trying to do. You're trying to pick apart my maths. I worked it out. I've got a napkin, a biro.
You did say 6 plus 4 and then said it was 14.
No, because he suplexed him, didn't he?
Oh, I see.
And Bad Bones, his lower back upside down. Will you just shut up?
You are so...
I said 12 to 14 feet, his lower back was up in the air.
So paranoid.
You question everything. Joe Hendry's prestigious, and Alex Gracie's a legend. Oh, look at this.
You're a maths genius.
I'm better than Scott Steiner. Shut up.
Bones a running forearm. An uppercut. Saw this in the first round match for Erkan against Rambo Braun. These two seem to know that each other is going to follow the other one in, but they don't care. They just want to hit each other. Oh, but here we go. Oh, God. Suplex from Bones.
Oh, he's back. Wow. Wow.
Oh, God, but look at that. Bones is straight up. A kick to the side of the head. The uppercut just made Bad Bones even more angry. But now both men are down. Referee with a 10 count on.
It was like the world's most violent tennis match. Back and forth, back and forth.
What happens if neither man can meet the 10 count? Who goes on to the World Cup then? Hopefully that's not going to have to be a question we need to answer, because Erkan is back on his feet. Bones is as well. Grabs the leg of Erkan. Goes for a small package. Bad Bones surprised his opponent in the first round. Almost did the same in the second round. Bones again with the cover. Again a kick out with a half a second to spare. Bones wondering, I think, if he needs to somehow change his strategy. There was more fight in this young man, Cash Money Erkan, than he was expecting.
And both of these second round matches have been a lot faster and a lot more explosive than I was expecting. These Germans don't mess around.
Bad Bones. Trying to catch Erkan though. Erkan with Bones on his shoulders. The Death Valley driver. The cover from Erkan. Oh, it wasn't enough.
That was close.
Erkan with a look of disbelief on his face. He believed with all of his heart that he had done enough right there to represent Germany in the World Cup. Erkan measuring Bad Bones. He'll go for the pump handle. We saw him use this in the first round as well. Gets it. Cover to go to the finals. And now again, Bad Bones finds a way out.
That was even closer. But you know what they say? Close only counts in dog leads and flamethrowers.
Who says that?
I'm trying to get that over. I think it works.
Yeah, well, good luck. Bad Bones.
Like horseshoes and hand grenades is any more relevant. Look at that, he looks straight at you, Dave.
Bad Bones is an absolutely terrifying human being, so all credit to Erkan that he has been able to go toe-to-toe with him here. But now Bad Bones is on the middle rope. Super kick into the jaw of Bad Bones.
And Bad Bones, I don't know if that was smart or whether that was impact that knocked him to the outside.
Bad Bones.
Either way, it saved the match for him.
Or has it? Because he's now on the outside. And there's a count on. He is, 7 seconds away from losing this via count out and sending Erkan to the finals.
I didn't recognise the count, Dave, because it was in German.
He's holding his fingers
up.
I
see that now. I just heard it.
Now we're up to 7. 3 seconds left for Bones. He is stirring, but he has 1 second left. And Bad Bones gets in the ring. Goodness me. What a match. What a bout between these two, with a place in the World Cup finals on the line. Crowd are chanting, Bad Bones going to kill you. I'm not sure Erkan believes that anymore. Erkan with increasing self-belief. Again to the pump handle. Bones, this time, fighting his way free. Dodges the super kick. A kick to the jaw of Erkan. Erkan!
Oh, God, he folded him up like an accordion.
The lung blow from Bad Bones! And Bad Bones is going to the World Cup Finals!
Und hier ist der Sieger und damit der zweite deutsche Teilnehmer beim Pro Wrestling World Cup in England im August.
Bad Bones is going to be a hard man to beat. in England, August 23rd to 26th. He has just proven that he is one of the toughest men in Germany, one of 2 representatives in the World Cup finals, and now Bad Bones and Lucky Kid will try to bring the World Cup home to Deutschland.
Well, countries like England or Japan or Mexico or America with more established wrestling scenes, I think they found out right here tonight that you cannot overlook the great talent in Germany. And if this evening was anything to go by, this World Cup just got a lot more interesting.
Zack Sabre Jr., Will Ospreay, Joe Coffey, Kenny Williams, Michael Elgin, Mike Bailey, Penta El Zero M and Rey Mysterio. Add Lucky Kid and Bad Bones to that ever-growing list. The last 16, the finals of the Pro Wrestling World Cup, are gonna be absolutely out of this world. What an evening here in Berlin as Bad Bones celebrates in Germany's capital. Our ring announcer confirming that Bad Bones is advancing into those World Cup finals, but the action does not stop for long. We are back tomorrow on YouTube with the Japanese qualifiers of the Pro Wrestling World Cup, including, among others, the legendary Tiger Mask, and get this, Jushin Thunder Liger.
Well, Dave, that's going to be incredible. But if I was anybody already qualified in that tournament, I would keep my eye on this man right here, because Bad Bones made an incredible impression, particularly on the faces of his opponents right here in Berlin.
Celebration time for Bad Bones. We're back tomorrow. The Japanese qualifiers, as well as the tournament Rampage versus Tomohiro Ishii in a non-tournament match. You do not want to miss that. But tonight belongs to Lucky Kid and Bad Bones. Good night from Berlin.